I think the funniest thing about this picture, it's so unfair to compare like using this image because
if you're gonna use an image of Katana doing like that face, you should at least use like her losing to Rambo. Because doesn't like Rambo like shock Katana? Like she'll have a face like that. Like that basically.
Or the face when she realizes Terminator's coming out on his motorbike. That's one of the big goofy ones. Like those are the ones you go for.
And RoboCop beating up like you in the one victory animation where it's like all the way up to the face with the RoboCop visual. Yeah, basically.
Everyone's orgasm face.
Here's the Mortal Kombat team.
Sub-Zero jump scare. Love that stupid meme. I'll see that. It just shows the clip where Sub-Zero jumps at Raiden or Kung Lao, and it plays the Freddy
like from the top. Snake really likes using that. I think I just saw him use that in his most recent clip too. Again, just
nice.
With the you jump cut from that to the falling Sub-Zero in the mythologies.
Because I did that during the end screen of one of my other videos recently, but like Bert was like, every fucking time Sub-Zero gets hit, like the hat hits him on the back of the head. He gets kicked into Kung Lao's spinning hat. It's like every single time. But because it's the end screen, I imagine a lot of people didn't see that, so I'm like, I could just put it in this one. It's fine.
That's smart. Just have memes.
Somebody should do that with like QTE effects, because like Kung Lao throwing the hat, just have like a circle on screen, but it fails and just goes.
Oh, that's funny. It's like that's the fail animation. It just does no damage. Oh, that's the failed QTE. Do an edit like that. That would be kind of funny.
When he jumps and you do it correctly, he tackles Raiden like correct.
Yeah, I have a couple of like meme edits like that where I just got no attention, so I was like, oh, I might as well use them again. I have this one that's like it was when they revealed Baraka and he does like his fatality where he just slowly peels off your face and in the end it's just the brain and he eats it. That fatality. So I kind of just replaced the brain because I had like a line that's something along the lines of like my love and affection for NRS and it's just like hearts and it's like he eats it and like hearts pop out. Wow!
I can tell you love NetherRealm games.
Like that, but like I only use that clip in my in one of my Beastars videos from a long time ago. So it's like randomly I'm like, oh, I guess I could use this again because since like probably no one from my Mortal Kombat fan base saw this because I put it in a Beastars video like in 2019. I was like, before Mortal Kombat even came out back then. So it was like I had that edit.
So what are the topics then? It's the stress test. The movie news.
The end.
Basically, not just the stress test, but we have some other Mortal Kombat 1 news that came out recently that we can talk about too. Before the stress, I'm kind of grouping that all in Mortal Kombat 1, basically.
So MK1 topic, and then the movies, which is both movies, we've got information for.
The sequel, I think we should start with the sequel, the 2021 sequel. I feel like that one is a bit better to talk about. And then Cage Match. Mm-hmm. So those are like the three main Mortal Kombat topics we can go through. And then just end with whatever, really. I feel like I'm gonna mention some stuff about myself, the farewell everyone kind of like speech or whatever. And then I think, well, I'll get into this later, but for some reason some of our fans want to hear us talk about Spider-Verse. So I think we can talk a teeny bit about that. We've all seen it finally.
I have some hot takes for that movie. I liked it, but I have some issues.
You have hot takes. You have hot takes. Okay. Yeah, you're the one on the trial here. Yeah, Jordan Dog. Okay.
Gale did nothing wrong.
Oh, you're one of those. You're one of the Thanos did nothing wrong. Thanks.
Did we just compare Miguel to Thanos? What the fuck?
Well, no, actually, not a lot of people, but I do think there was that one post that was really horrible that they compared Miguel to like, what was it? I have to think here for a second. Walter White and Makima from like Chainsaw Man and stuff like that. And people are like, okay, hang on a second. Miguel's not that evil. Come on, guys.
Jeez. He's not evil at all.
He's not.
There's a great description somebody gave in a comment, and it was like, it's so spot on, because I bet even the writers told the voice actor to have this motivation for his lines. Someone in the comments said, I like Miguel in this film. He's like a dad taking care of a bunch of kids, and he's just kind of getting tired.
Oh yeah, basically.
That's how he acts. Even his lines are like, "Find him, everyone, like anywhere you could be, just look everywhere." I'm like totally what a dad would say. Like, look.
There's literally one of the, I think it was Ben Spider, who was literally like, have you seen him? Or like, go this way. And he says like, "Yes, Dad." in the movie, I remember he literally says that.
Ben Reilly fans are pissed, but I can save that for.
I know why though. Yeah, I know why. But anyways, we should. There's a lot. We can keep our Spider-Verse topic for later. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you guys want to say anything else that happened recently. We completely didn't talk about Guardians. I don't know if you want to chat about that a bit.
We'll see.
Okay, but I'm
Yeah.
I saw my girlfriend at a drive-in theater, and after we finished it, her exact she was afraid to give me her opinion. And she pretty much just said like, I wasn't like I thought it was exactly what I expected, pretty much. And she was like, just looked at me and said, "There's not a single part of that film that surprised me." And I was like, "Yeah, it's pretty fair." I felt too.
Maybe. Yeah. I'm not too sure if that's. I guess that's an interesting takeaway from that.
Come on, let's get started before we start going over the topics before we
That's
actually
true,
the episode.
But one other thing I want to mention is that after this podcast, I will give you guys, dump a bunch of things to you guys because I have all the Combat Kings assets that I can share with you guys for whoever is going to edit the next couple episodes. And then also, I don't know if you guys want to...
I got a couple of episodes. How long are you going to be gone?
Well, wait, I thought you guys know how long I'll be. You know what? I guess we'll keep it a secret then. How long have we gone until we get into the episode?
I thought it'd be like a week or something. It would just happen to overlap with episode recording. I didn't think it was going to be. Oh yeah, I'm going to be gone long enough for multiple episodes.
Going on a spiritual journey, Snake.
Guys, I'm leaving. I'm going to be on vacation till August 16.
Nice.
That's my dad's birthday, weirdly enough.
What? Oh, really? Yeah. Oh shit, you're really close to my birthday then, because I'm 13. Damn. And then just one last thing. I don't know if we have time, maybe the Mario movie, because some people want to hear us talk about that. Did y'all see The Flash?
No.
I tried so hard to find a way to watch it illegally, and I couldn't find a way to do it without like getting a bunch of malware attempts. Oh. They kept trying to give me malware, and my stuff kept blocking it. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing it.
That was my method of how I watched it. Unless you're very
curious.
Movie
exists, though. Because now we have that out-of-context clip of Flash putting a baby in a microwave, and it makes me so happy.
Yeah. Anyways, whatever we can chat about eventually.
You ever see that, Snake? You ever see that?
I saw that.
Amazing.
I saw the clip in the context of the movie, but also, you know about that clip being like a misinformation that they spread it, right? The clip was the Flash putting the baby into the microwave and the lady like screaming.
I don't even mean that part. That one's funny too. The reverse part is funny. But I mean the original clip where he's running up on debris at super speed and just jumps with the microwave and puts the baby. That's the actual unedited clip. And it's just so funny to see out of context.
The full clip is just him like saving a bunch of babies. It's such a trashy movie, but you know what? We can get into that when we get into that.
Yes.
Oh, I have a lot of opinions about that, but whatever.
I'm already recording if you want to use this.
Yeah, so
I'm recording right now too. Everyone recording here?
Welcome to the Combat Kings podcast. We're glad to have you back again. Sonic just keeps going through all the topics before we even get to the episode started.
I'm making sure y'all seen the movie.
You shut your mouth.
That's all.
Shut up.
That's all. So, all right, fine.
Someone has to get us on track.
Beautiful man.
Someone has to get us on track. So I'm going to fill in for Sonic and say welcome to the new episode. Not welcome back to the new episode, because you can't do that. You can't welcome someone back to a new episode because they've not been here before. Stop doing that, YouTubers. You cowards, you fools, you bad at English. Stop it.
You can't welcome them back to the channel, though.
Yes.
We are,
yes, absolutely valid.
Yeah.
Maybe when we're old and gray and boomers, there's going to be technology that exists where you can upload 2 videos, and then when you refresh the video, we can have a different intro. Be pretty sick.
Today, we have a ton of Mortal Kombat stuff we can talk about. The stress test just ended recently. We have Mortal Kombat 2021 sequel news and cage match news, which, funny enough, both cage match and the sequel news came out a day after another. Just cage match and then 2021 sequel cast and stuff like that, which was kind of funny. That just came out all at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so we are going to start with some Mortal Kombat 1 stuff that we can chat about, which is, other than the stress test, we did have some interesting stuff that got announced recently. I think one of the biggest things that got I feel like when I saw this, the first thing that I thought was like, you know, I was thinking, oh my gosh, the Force Snake must be super happy now, is that they got Casey Edwards back for the music. Woo!
For context, for anyone who might not be familiar, Casey Edwards did some of the music for Devil May Cry 5. I believe that includes the main theme, Devil Trigger. And so, and
oh shit, really? Oh, that's awesome.
And Casey did, apparently, one of the music tracks we've heard so far is the Johnny's Mansion track, which people are really buzzing to. That's one of Casey's. So,
oh, nice.
So I'm looking at that thinking, so this is the game that has Kenshi doing all the cool like EI Jutsu stuff with his sword. He has a blue phantom helping him out. He was once played by Dan Southworth. Like he just is Virgil now, and now we have DMC5 music composers working on the game. Like who can? So what we're going to see first? We're going to see Kenshi modded into DMC5 or Virgil modded into Mortal Kombat.
Probably the former, because Devil May Cry 5 is out right now. Maybe then someone will be like, finally, time to do that, put it in. I wanted to actually hire someone to do that for my Snowblind video, because in my Snowblind video, I use the I am the storm that is approaching quite a lot of times in my own video. So like, I wanted to literally do that, but I was like, all right, no time. But yeah, that would be really fun.
Mm-hmm. Also, a good song, man. Such a bop.
Oh, such a bop. What do you call it? Snake you undersell as Snake. I feel like I've seen about like 3 or 4 videos of you mentioning this about like this Casey news, how it's like he was supposed to be at MK11, but they were so dumb that they decided not to do that.
No, that was Mick Gordon from Doom.
Yeah, Mick Gordon.
Yeah. I see.
Which would have been also a match made in heaven, but it probably would have overpowered the gameplay.
I'm not sure. I think Casey Edwards might have worked on Doom or something as well. I think I heard that somewhere. I can't verify that, but it really is a case of...
I think I've heard that before.
Of another game composer does some really excellent music getting in on MK, because I think we can all agree that MK's soundtrack has been somewhat lacking the last couple of games. Like, the last time we had the last time there was a genuinely... Like, we had a good soundtrack was MK9, and that was a good soundtrack because it was all redone music from the older games. So...
Yeah.
You know, so and MK has really suffered musically in the more recent games. Like I don't think that's a controversial take, because the soundtrack they've gone way more orchestral to very movie-like.
Yeah, it's not bad, but it's just really unmemorable. Honestly, yeah.
How dare all of you? That Lin Kuei theme is a bop.
You can easily hum a bunch of tracks from the classic games and the 3D era, but then you get to the NetherRealm ones, and it's like, who is going to be humming like Special Forces Tank Bunker or Desert Command? You know,
I don't even know which Lin Kuei you were talking about there, Troner Dog. X or 11.
Well, maybe one of my fans will pick up on this, like a true OG, because the joke there is that before I started using that lo-fi hip-hop background music in all of my videos, which one fan vehemently hates. I saw your comment, and I'm sorry, but I can't find a better one to put. I used to have like 2 or 3, and I lost the other 2 video audio files, so I just have to use that one from now on, and I can't be bothered to search for the one that I liked back in the day. But before that, I did use soundtracks from the games themselves, and for MK11, I used the Lin Kuei theme for Frost Stage, because it was the least intrusive, but it still had music to it, and I just used that one for every video, every single one. Even my Smash videos, my Smash guides had Mortal Kombat in the background. Like my Smash Ultimate videos had Lin Kuei in the background for one of them. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, if the music isn't so intrusive, it's just like you don't notice it, but if you try to notice, you hear a little bit of it's usually not bad for like that kind of background music. I will admit that. But yeah, like Snake pointed out, like I feel like even I heard the Cage Mansion song, I was like, that does sound like that kind of like Killer Instinct, like that kind of like sounds like that. The Tea House
is chill. It. Killer Instinct was the game Casey did some music for.
Yeah, Killer Instinct and Devil May Cry. That's the one that I heard.
So that's where the confusion came from, because Mick Gordon was like, I think the primary guy doing music, and Casey Edwards was also on it. I'm not sure if Casey came in like for season 3 or something, because I know Mick didn't do that one. So there is a connection there. So it's not unreasonable to get mixed up, because it was a Killer Instinct person doing music. So
okay,
you're forgiven.
Yeah, pretty hyped about the music. Not gonna lie, I love when. I think they did this in MK11 too, but I am looking forward to seeing how they do the different transitions of the rounds for each of the games, stages, because it's like round 1, there's a different soundtrack. Round 2, there's a different soundtrack. The transition between round 1 and 2 has a different soundtrack, and then the final round has a different soundtrack. They did that in the recent Street Fighter, and I think that was great. That you get to hear the different like beats and the vibes and stuff like that. So looking forward to seeing how they do at this.
You know, I think it'll be interesting because I just realised that the Living Forest is technically a returning stage, but with a whole new vibe. So it won't just be bringing this game's musical style to this classic theme. They also have to alter it to fit the new style. So that'll be an interesting track to look out for to see how that sounds.
I guess so. I mean, like the Deadpool that came back in MK11 has like a really different theme, if I'm not mistaken. So I do hope they reference the Living Forest's theme, because that one's a bop too. The original and MK9 one, Living Forest one.
That flute goes hard.
The flute, yeah.
I hope the Deadpool comes back, but it's the life pool.
Oh,
just make everything reversed.
A life pool. It's like a golden pool, basically. Yeah. I hope the Deadpool comes back, and then we'll have to theorize which race in the Outworld is going to be pushed into the green goo. In MK9 it was a Shokan. In MK Aftermath it was a Tarkatan. What's it going to be this time? It's going to be like there going to be a lot of lizard people. Are they going to be pushed into the pool?
It's going to be the last female Saurian.
No, not Chameleon.
Although, now think about it, that might not be the case, because the Saurians were wiped out in the fight between Raiden and Shinnok. In this timeline, even if the war with Shinnok still happened, Raiden can't have been involved in it because he wouldn't have been born yet. So unless the exact same thing happened, but it was Liu Kang this time, or maybe Liu Kang would be like, I'm going to save the Saurians.
The exact same thing.
Like, I'm going to save the Saurians in this timeline. They're like, oh yes, Dragon God Liu Kang, we worship you now. And now he's got Reptile as his little enforcer going around like spying on people for him. Oh, that sounds so good.
This is the best timeline ever. This is absolutely amazing.
My friend has been making memes that just crack me up, because I don't know who's making these, but they're just so funny to me. There's a collection of memes going around of Raiden just being a huge bigot towards Tarkatans, and I just find it so funny.
Okay. Why?
Like, he's just being mean and prejudiced. Like, one of them is like, Liu Kang, I'm disappointed. You remade the new era, and there's still Tarkatans.
So random.
And one of the most relevant, it's a bit... Now I'll just save it for after the stream. They're funny though, but I worry people get mad that I make these jokes, so I'll just stop.
I mean, being bigoted towards Tarkatans, I think, is...
They're half demon, like they're terrible, which is why it's funny.
It's a common thing.
How dare you? They've made a comeback in MK11 as people who are allies, and then immediately beat up in Aftermath.
Remember Jade like dehumanized Baraka, calling him good boy in MK9.
Yeah,
and then sometime in the span between one chapter length of time, she's suddenly going from no, Coastal, we can't exterminate them all.
These aren't the same Tarkatans, Koto. A better Khan would lend a something, not cold steel, a warm hand, not cold steel.
it's like she's just completely inverted her view, and you have to remember that the time span is from like the middle of her chapter to like 3/4 of the way through Kung Lao's, and in that time
then she gets taken to the
that time. I guess Raiden talked her down. He said, "Look, I understand the Tarkatans. They're working for the bad guy, but you can't be racist, Jade. That's not allowed." She's like, "You know what, Lord Raiden? I will not be racist anymore." And then she proves it in MK11. What a character arc. Better character arc that I just made up off the top of my head than most of the things that NetherRealm came up with themselves. Hey.
There are cute Tarkatan ladies that exist in the worldview, so you can't be racist toward Tarkatans.
Baraki. Playable character, Baraki.
I do want to see a female, proper female Tarkatan, especially since Melina... seemingly is not going to be Tarkatan this time. We need a proper female Tarkatan.
Oh, like an actual playable one?
Oh, okay. Because people
they have leg blades.
Because people seem to respond somewhat well to that female Tarkatan. Mostly as a meme, but could you imagine if they said, "Oh yeah, that was her. She's a character," and it's like, "Oh yeah, that's that Tarkatan from the last game." The females, I think, should get the X23 like foot blades instead.
Oh, to make them more unique. Give it whatever is on the arms, put on the legs, like Jackie. That seems like a good idea.
It's just a question of would it be exactly?
Like I just said this 2 minutes earlier.
Is it exactly like X23, where it like comes out the top of the foot, or does it like come out of the sole? so that it's like this like bit more reasonable. That there's more room.
Maybe could also come out of the side of like the leg, so she does like a little Chun-Li kick, but like the blade comes out the side. She just kicks over and over again.
Gotta give her something, more unique.
But yours idea makes more sense with like the lion feet, like the lion claws, like what X-23 has. I think that's why she has them, because lions have claws in their like back feet for digging.
She has them so she could be more different compared to Wolverine, basically.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but if you want to be fun about it, there's like other reasons.
Yeah. Of course.
I just wanted to bring up one funny thing. So
in
MK11, to me, it made sense what Jade was saying, and then I remembered like how in every game before the NetherRealm games, like Tarkatans are like absolutely evil. Like they're just mutant demons that are horrible and even like attack at random and stuff. So the idea of them getting like their own area and like their place in the kingdom and whatnot is just so funny to me, because like the glow up and they're treated with like respect and stuff, and it's like, you're gonna regret that one, Katana. I'm prone to fits of rage.
It's ironic to talk about the idea of a Tarkatan glow up when Baraka has had basically the same outfit for most of his game appearances.
Yeah,
like they keep going back to the MK2 design constantly, even when sometimes just as an alternate, but most of the time he has that. And like the one in MKX, which was different, was very similar to his Deception outfit. So functionally, Baraka's only really had like 3 outfits ever.
That's why Raiden hates Tarkatans. They have no drip. That's why he's actually so bitter.
At MK11, you could give him a little bit more drip, right? From what I recall.
He's like a Lord of the Rings cosplayer. In MK11, which I thought was great. He just has Lord of the Rings armor, which was amazing.
It's so funny just to turn him straight up into an Uruk Berserker with the white hand of Saruman on his flag. It's so funny.
Like, that flag should have been better, man. Would have been way amazing.
That, and you can also turn him into Killer Croc, right? Remember that the DLC. Remember that? One thing I want to mention about the Tarkans that we were going off of is when they had their redemption arc in MK11, the first thing I was thinking is, oh, this is so sweet. Literally in your next incarnation or whatever the next game is going to be, you're going to revert back. I just know it. And then Battle of Realms comes out and they just kill like 1,000 like brainless like Tarkans in that, basically. They're just all the little minions there. Like, no, they're just little minions. Don't care about them at all. So it's like,
I'm all for it. All I ask is that for one time, ever since MK2, just for once, I want them to bring back the idea that Baraka is actually a threat. Don't make him a jobber. Like, have Baraka walk into the room and have the heroes be like, oh, fuck. That's Baraka. Oh, damn, one of us is going to die. And I want the exact same respect for a Reptile. Like, when Reptile comes in, whether he's good or bad this time around, like, he should have some weight to his appearance, not just,
I hope so, yeah.
It's that lizard guy. It's not you again. How many times did I teach you this lesson, old man?
It's kind of sad that, like, remember, in Shaolin Monks, Baraka was a boss fight. Not just some random dude, it was a boss fight. And like,
took out Sonya, too.
That's the most seriously Baraka's ever been treated. And that's the game where you stab him in the skull and he explodes. So, my man...
He's okay, he'll walk it off.
Like, my man never really got much in the way of respect. Like Katana's more respectful towards him than like, anyone who's ever worked on the games. So...
It was pretty respectful to give him back his metal blades in the story mode. Yeah, that's a nice detail.
Even though he defaults to the wooden blades for some bone blades rather in the wooden. That would be funny. Bone blades, bone blades by default in the game.
Training blades, wooden blades.
I don't understand
for your training.
I don't understand why NetherRealm keeps doing this, where they'll have a default version of the character and it's not canon. Baraka doesn't have bone blades. Scorpion's default outfits for the last 2 games have not been used in the story. You use the MKX one in the comics, so that's at least canon.
True, yeah.
Sub-Zero, both of his defaults are not used. Neither of them are canon. The only time we see the default from MK11 is being worn by Bi-Han in his ending, and then what he thinks is Bi-Han in Snowblind, but it's actually him. And that's the only times that costume's been used. It's so weird that they keep doing this.
That's funny.
Why?
When you think of it that way.
Well, it's been lifted. That curse is no longer around. We've seen story mode gameplay, and they're both wearing their default outfits, both Scorpion and Sub-Zero. So the curse has been lifted.
And Liu
Unless
Kang
that's
on
just
the cover,
for the first chapter and they take it off.
Which is fine, at least, because at least it means they have it. Even Liu Kang's default skin is in the it's in the game. It's in the story mode. We see him like took out the hood and it is that. Mm-hmm. And like you said, Scorpion MK11 one isn't, which I think it is really funny. How about let's get back onto MK1 topics. Yeah. I think people will be more interested in hearing some more.
We'll sit here and listen to all my memes of Raiden being a racist. Okay.
We'll see you later. So there's one thing I do kind of want to get into that I think was kind of interesting with some of the interviews that came out recently. There's a lot of interview information that's been coming out and a lot of intro dialogue speculations that have been going on that people have been mentioning. But one that I do find that's really interesting is the thing about Ed Boon that mentioned in an interview about the Kameo Fighters. He said in an interview that the story mode, the conquest mode this time, will have unique Kameo Fighters that are specific for that conquest mode. You guys heard about this from what I recall? Like, he did say this in an interview recently, which sounds very weird. But what do you guys think about this? Because I have a big-ass theory that I'm going to throw out here really soon. But I kind of want to hear what you guys want to say.
There's a few ways it could go. One possibility is that it's just normal characters. It's like, so you're fighting this, like Scorpion Sub-Zero on a mission together. You're playing the Sub-Zero, but you can get... Well, I know those two are going to be cameos anyway, but like, imagine if Scorpion was only a cameo in the story. They just took some of his moves from his normal moveset and put it for the story. But otherwise, you don't get that. Or it could be like... It's hard to think of one because most of the playable characters so far have been confirmed cameos. Imagine if like MK11 Jade's chapter where she's traveling with Kotal. Imagine if Kotal wasn't a cameo character, but in the story he was. So you get some of his moves for that. It seemed like an odd thing to do. Like, you might as well just make it a normal thing. Just have it be a thing you can just do. I think it would really suck if it... When it could... Is your theory that it's just going to be like generic dudes, like, oh, you get a random Shaolin monk to help you out?
No.
I have a theory.
That actually does kind of make sense, too. If that is what he's, like, leaning towards, just maybe like, oh, you get random street person next to you, come help me. This guy's a bad guy, please help. That'd be kind of funny, actually. That'd be kind of like Street Fighter 6's story. Just everyone can fight, apparently, in this universe or something. What
if the director from MK9 is one of them? And it's like, you do a scene where you're doing one of Johnny's movies, and it's like... The rationale behind the director popping in to assist is he's jumping in to show Johnny what move he wants done. It's like, you hit him like this, Johnny, and then Johnny has to like do that move or something against random generic ninja.
That'd be amazing.
You know, the funny thing about that is...
Picture this. Go ahead.
Oh, wait, let me just say this one thing before we continue that. So, in Cage Match, which is coming up, I believe the voice actor of Liu Kang in Mortal Kombat 11 and also the in this newest game, he's going to be voicing a character in Cage Match called the Director. So imagine if the director that you're mentioning, Snake, is going to be voiced by Matthew Yang King. That'd be kind of funny. Two Liu Kangs in the game again.
What if the director in that is not a movie director, but the reality director, and it's secretly Fire God Liu Kang, and this is one of his failed timelines?
Imagine the director is a cameo of Ed Boon or something. Anyways, Dog, what were you going to say?
That was going to be my joke, but something similar. So I was going to say, here's my unique cameo fighter for story mode. Okay, it's the final boss. All the heroes are beaten down, and the villain's like, haha, none of you are strong enough to defeat me. And they're like, we can't, but he can. And they step aside, and in walks in Tobias himself.
There he is, the man himself. Whoa, Hollywood moment. Game sales, just like that. Easy, take my money.
No, the toasty guy walks out.
you know how people are always saying that Ed Boon should be like a skin in the game or a fighter, and then I'm sure he said that he doesn't want to be like torn apart or something. It's like, well, doesn't that mean he could be a cameo fighter since you can't kill them? Like he could
be. It better be the toughest skin to get in the game. Like, you got 100% the game or something. Like, get the platinum trophy, and then you can finally play as Ed Boon as a cameo.
Here's what you do. Here's the best part, right? You have it that Ed Boon is a cameo fighter, and all the moves he does are just the classic Scorpion ones, like the spear. But when he does the spear, it's not Ed Boon doing the get over here and come here. It's Scorpion's voice actor.
That's funny.
Ed Boon. And then of course he has Toasty, and exclusively if Ed Boon does Toasty on the opponent, that's when Dan Forden pops in and goes, Toasty!
Yeah, unlocking Ed Boon will be as difficult as unlocking Naked Melina in MK9. You gotta do the Challenge Tower 300 in the newest game or something. Just for Ed Boon.
It's not hard to do, man. You just gotta be a coward like me. It's not a hard...
You gotta spend that currency. Spend the... What's it called now? The Dragon Crystals or something like that in the newest game? I forgot what it's called, the new currency.
Yeah, but you can't even like earn them naturally, I don't think, in the new one. You have to like buy them.
Oh, that's sad. But anyways, I'll tell you guys my theory, because I feel like with a lot of things going into this new game and the story mode, I think this is literally what I think is going to happen. Now, I could be wrong, but I think it's a pretty strong theory here. I think in the game, because there's another interview that they explain saying that the Kameo Fighters, some of them might be unique, are going to be unique in the campaign, but also some of them, we're also going to teach the Kameo fighting mechanic in the story mode, so it will be like intertwined into the story and stuff like that. Because in the trailer, you see like when Raiden's fighting Kenshi, it's like freaking Kano and Jack show up. So it's like, I thought, oh, maybe the Kameo Fighters will be just random characters you can pick. But my theory is those are just for trailer effects. And that's why they showed the Kano and Jack stuff in the background. And you're not going to be able to pick that. They're going to be story related. And also, I think like Kenshi is not going to be using the Ancestor Sento move when he was in the tuxedo suit fighting Johnny like in the trailer. I think that was just for the trailer. And also Raiden having electricity. I believe they're going to get that in the story mode. Like Johnny's going to get his green glowing powers and Raiden's going to be able to use electricity as time goes on. I think that's what they're alluding to, like how Kung Lao doesn't have the hat in the very beginning. So my big brain theory is that the unique Kameo Fighters are these nerfed or not completely like awakened versions of these characters. So Johnny won't be able to throw the green ball. He's only going to show up and do some combos. Raiden won't be able to use electricity yet, but he can come out and do some fighting. Kenshi with his sword without the Sento ability. That's my theory as to what the Kameo Fighter is going to be, the unique Kameo Fighter is going to be, are these not awakened moment characters. Because then it's like, oh, but I want to play as these characters, but like I'd rather want them to have their abilities anyways. So they can just have these like some punches and kicks just as like the Kameo Fighter stuff. That's my theory.
That is an interesting theory, and there's definitely something to that. It's just, in the case of Kenshi specifically, before he can train, he has to fight Johnny, right? He has to have his fight with Johnny in game.
Well, I don't know the ordering. If it's going to be him with Raiden first or him with Johnny first. I'm not too sure, honestly.
I can't imagine that he's a guy with Yakuza tats. You can still see the tats in the Shaolin outfit, so I can't imagine he'll get the Yakuza tats, then join the Shaolin, and then quit to go off and do his own thing. I think it's much more likely that he's a Yakuza bad guy, breaks into Johnny Cage's home, and Liu Kang recruits both of them there. But
that could be true too.
Which would indicate that if Kenshi's not using Sento, he shouldn't have the spirit with him unless there's some plot reason why this one is just with him the whole time. And
I have to assume he's going to be blinded and then have Sento. I think that's what's going to happen.
Because that then raises the question of how will Kenshi fight in that one fight? Will he still have all of his abilities, or will they actually nerf what he can do?
I just think he won't have the Sento mode. I bet he will only have the black sword. Remember, he has that. He doesn't have the Sento sword when he's fighting Johnny. Because I remember Kenshi's move is he can switch stances, right? I bet he just can't switch stance. That's how he'll be in the story mode for the beginning.
Yeah, because you can't even use you can't summon the spirit directly unless you're in that Sento stance, which is super overpowered. You know my theory, because you're already looking at it from a different perspective, like story and lore making sense. I thought when I first heard that news that the unique Kameo Fighters were also like an incentive to play story mode. Like, oh, if you want to play this character, like they're only available in story mode. That's what I was thinking. So I was hoping characters like Shujinko might show up and other training characters that would fit that role. Like Bo Rai Cho would also be a great Kameo Fighter to fit what you're saying of like teaching you how to fight. And he could be in the Shaolin Temple. It would make perfect sense. And it's already been hinted he'll be in the game because that Jin and Juice leak. And he's not going to be a full character. He's going to be a cameo, let's be honest.
Oh, I thought you were going to say because of the Truth or Troll tweets that Ed did recently.
He did another one or just the first one?
Oh, I forgot if Shujinko was mentioned in that tweet or not. But I remember Ed Boon did mention Shujinko somewhere.
I didn't even bother.
Okay, as long as you mean the old one, I did a video on that one. I thought you meant a new one came out, and I was like, wait, guys, I got to make a video. Got to leave CN.
I didn't even bother looking at those tweets because I'm like, it's just Ed Boon trolling. Like, this I have no patience for that stuff. I don't care. Like the truth will come out. I'm not going to sit here thinking, is this thing Ed Boon said actually real, or is he just lying? He's probably lying. Stop.
Dude, could you imagine every single one's a troll? That'd be ridiculous.
Oh, that would piss. But some of those just genuinely feel like if they are a troll, that'd be bad in my opinion. Be like, really?
And some of them also give away, like some of the trolls also just give away something else. Like when he says like Meat's one of the best cameos. Well, that just confirms that Meat's a cameo in general. unless he's just a complete liar.
Unless he means,
or maybe he's worded it wrong.
Unless he means, there's a fatality. There's a fatality where a character gets turned to a bloody skeleton or a skinless man. That's your meat Kameo, actual Kameo, not Kameo mechanic. Haha! I fooled you all, for I am Ed Boon.
Oh god! Since like NetherRealm has shown in the past, they're not afraid to show the actual sausage and eggs during X-rays. If you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Imagine if Meat's just not even wearing underwear in MK1.
They're not afraid to show the eggs. I don't think they've shown the sausage though, but the eggs, because they can destroy the eggs though.
But the idea
you gotta play Dante's Inferno if you want to see that stuff.
Yeah, that's funny. Like Lucifer's got a massive swinging like cock just hanging out during the final boss fight. It's so funny.
It's true. It's so funny that it's just blatantly there.
I want MK to be that daring someday.
Originally, God of War had that. I think I've told y'all before, but God of War, the very first one, wanted to give the Cyclopses the twig and berries too, but in playtesting, they found too many people were laughing. So it wasn't the serious vibe he wanted, which was like, the animals being in nature.
Yeah.
Which is why the Gorgons have their boobies and stuff. But he found that no one could take the Cyclops seriously when he had a twig and berry flopping around, so they got rid of it.
Well, I think there's one thing that I would say, like, that kind of I would disagree with that theory, because, like he says, like, oh, Shujinko in the story mode, but Raicho in the story, wouldn't that be cool? I'd be like, that would be cool, but I want them as a Kameo fighter! Ah! I feel like that kind of fan will happen if you do that kind of shenanigan, which is why I'm going with the more safer
exclusive
theory, basically.
Until you beat story mode. Maybe they're unlockable.
That would be great.
But yeah, otherwise you're right. It would be kind of lame to only have Shujinko. Bo Raicho, I can take or leave. I don't want to be puked on all the time when I'm playing online. I don't want to get farted on all the time.
You're pissing off the dozen of Bo Raicho fans out there.
Because really what it boils down to is, if you have the assets made, like not just having the model, but you have moves attached to them for this specific system, why would you make them exclusive to the story mode and not available in other modes, when you could just easily just change like a value and make it work, unless it's some like generic nobody, like just Shaolin extra number 1, Shaolin extra number 2, just for the sake of narrative, because obviously this system is a big part of the gameplay. Which we can talk,
or like I said, which can finally come out without throwing his hat.
We'll finally talk about in a minute, but yeah, I think other than limited version of the character or generic dude, like it would really be just terrible. Just like in terms of your relationship with the fans, to put in a character and say only in the story mode, literally nowhere else, because we know how fans respond to stuff like that with the fighters, and it's going to be no different than if they do that here with the assists, because it's still like it's content that's in the game. Let us use it, guys. So
listen, you thought your favorite character as a Kameo fighter was a scary meme. Now your favorite character is story mode exclusive. Yeah, how's that for a meme?
That would be hilarious. That'd be so funny.
Cybrax and Sector only in story mode.
That's the most evil thing they could do. I mean, also I think Ed tweeted like a picture of a predator like with red light on, saying Sector's the best Kameo. So you might not be too far off.
That was weird. Yeah,
but
haven't seen that one.
Yeah, like that's the most evil thing.
It's really recent.
The most evil thing they could do is be like, okay, Sindel's in the game, fully playable character. We're sticking with the retcon. But if you want the classic Sindel, she appears as a story mode exclusive Kameo fighter. I would burn the office down with no one in it. If that was the case.
Really? I think you'd be pretty happy about that. Like, she's acknowledged as a character in the story. They actually acknowledge
Snake,
her.
What do you want, Snake? You're so hard to please.
I actually kind of want to mention something.
I put out a video where I'm like, here's the things in Mortal Kombat 1 that I like, and
I wanted to watch that.
And half the comments are either,
you haven't seen it yet?
The comments are either, yo, sponsor, let's go, or it's like, nah, you're wrong, this game's crap. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Some people are already so salty.
Some people
for Snake fans, give him a week, okay? Jeez, he just want to be positive for one video. Crying out loud, guys.
He's got to build the salt meter, like how you start the game. You got to build the bar. He's got to build his salt meter so he can unleash the devastating fatal blow. But he's also got to be low on life too, which means that you got to like hurt him a bit. That he's got to be disappointed and then like get his health bar lowered.
Funny, this is getting a weird metaphor here.
But yeah, okay. Well, real quick. You brought up Sindel. That could be a unique, not Sindel herself, but a unique Kameo fighter could be that Sindel is still a good girl in this new timeline, but her own specific cameo is like the spirit that she could summon in MK11. That'd be kind of sick.
Oh.
Maybe unique just to her.
Oh,
maybe if
that
Shao
Kameo
Kahn's a character,
Fighters.
he can summon the Dark Priest.
Yeah.
That'd be kind of fun. I like those.
Well, they kind of did that with Kenshi in gameplay, like where they expanded on his spirit, but they could always make that spirit or a different
basically.
spirit one. I mean, that'd be funny, the idea of like Kenshi's final battle.
An actual Yakuza comes in.
That would be cool. But I was just going to say, like, I was going to say the idea of Kenshi being like, he summons the one phantom, but he also has another one as part of the Kameo system, so he can have two fighting alongside him against Shang Tsung or whoever, and he's just like,
Just two phantoms.
Nightwolf. A previous Nightwolf, they can finally do something with that idea. A previous Nightwolf shows up and is like, "I'm going to help you out, Nightwolf," and this will be the female one that they keep trying to push.
Yeah, the one that they've been setting up. Yeah.
Or they could go like really offensive and just be like, "The Great Spirit that specifically shows up," and it's like, "No, you can't do that. Stop! No!"
I'll cut this out. I'll cut this out.
I mean, like I'm pretty
Baraka
sure
summons Baraki.
Like I'm pretty sure the Great Spirit is already referred to like as like grandfather, like in real life. And then NetherRealm's like, the Great Spirit, her, female, and I'm like, I don't know about that one.
I just assumed it's because like it's not Earth technically, it's like a different like Earth. That's what I always assume, but I guess it is rude. In the same way that Raiden is like the god of thunder, but he's like completely wrong. I just thought it was like that. But you're right, that is kind of rude, especially when they were trying to. Now that you mention this, like they were trying to be like really accurate with like Nightwolf's origin and stuff, or like he's on a reservation and everything, and then you're right, they just completely messed up a key part of the religion. Dang.
Yeah, I feel like half of Mortal Kombat lore is like there are things that are based off of real world stuff, and then there are things that are just like, I mean, it's in game. Like you said, Raiden is like, I really do see Raiden as his own character, but like obviously he is referenced to like Raijin and stuff like that, but like I do see it as like their own stuff and whatnot. One thing that's been popping up recently, and even in my own comment section I've been seeing, is a lot of people are on your side, True Underdog, with your recent video. Your recent theory about Mr. Evil Liu Kang's true identity. It actually turns out to be like a lot of people are actually being persuaded by you. What did you feel about that? How did you feel? How did you come up with that idea, basically?
What theory?
Well, it started off with just a comment. Yeah, it started off with just a comment that I saw from somebody, and then I saw a couple more comments of it, and then I saw some of it online too, and I was like, surely not. That'd be like the most ridiculous way to upset the fans, unless it's pulled off perfectly, which it could be. You could pull off the twist like super well, but if done even a hair wrong, it would just upset everybody to know they've been playing like Shang Tsung the whole time and not Liu Kang. But I thought, let's just dive into it for fun and find how many hints could like lead to the idea that it's actually Shang Tsung. And I ended up with like 13 different reasons why Shang Tsung was, Liu Kang. So I just thought it was interesting. I don't want it to be true, by the way. I don't want it to be accurate, but it's such a fun idea for a video topic. And the best kind of video topics are the ones that get engagement, right? Like tons of comments.
Yeah.
So I was like, I love lore discussion videos. Another good one is like, what if Scorpion is Kuai Liang? That's a fun theory too. That could be a video by itself. Yeah.
Yeah,
that image of Sector Predator could be a whole 10-minute video by itself. Listen.
Yeah, you do raise the point that when someone proposes a theory, it's like, well, this could be the way it is. That doesn't mean that's what they want. Like, I feel like that happens a lot with like game theory, where people like MatPat saying this is how it should be. Like, MatPat saying, well, the child should be a robot secretly. He's like, no, it's just that's the conclusion he's come to based on the evidence in the game. Now, whether that theory holds any water is one thing, but I feel like a lot of people's reactions is acting like he wants that to be the case and not just he thinks this is probably how it's going. Oh God, this franchise is stupid.
Yeah,
are you referring to Detroit Become Human? Or not? Or who's the child? Was that from Star Wars? Or are we talking about Detroit?
He's talking about Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind. Because there's a big twist in Detroit Become Human. Well, there's a twist in that game where like the robot the whole time is taking care of a human girl and like keeping her safe, but to everyone else she kidnapped the girl. Then the dumb twist reveal is like there's an identical looking girl at the same refuge they're at, and it's because the little girl's been a robot model the whole time. Like the father bought a fake daughter and a fake wife to take care of the daughter. So this whole time she's been taking care of a robot. And yeah, and it's a really stupid twist because like someone put it in the comments, like, here's the twist and how dumb it is. The idea is, could a robot love a human? But the writer asked the big question. Could a robot love a robot?
Oh my gosh. I never been through machines. Detroit yet, but like David Cage is such a gold mine of garbage.
He's such a unique human because he makes good ideas and bad ideas in such a perfect mixture that it's just so impressive.
Exactly. It's very entertaining.
It's kind of
Heavy Rain is so entertaining.
It's kind of unfortunate like the big scary looking android that joins Kara on her adventure is the big black guy. And I think that's the one instance where a human specifically says to the android, "I am your master," and it's like, David, didn't you say this game is not about? David. This is not about. It's not an allegory. It's not about slavery and whatnot. No. That's not what this is about. It's about androids. It's like, are you sure, David?
There's a lot of that you can find in there. That's like. Yeah.
Are you sure, David, cousin of Johnny Cage? Are you sure?
Because
I think
there's an actual concentration camp at the end too. Don't forget, which is actually that's an implemented well scene. I thought because like it's good to remind people of how ridiculous that was. But yeah, David Cage. Anyway, I didn't know the child was Five Nights at Freddy's. I wish I was smarter to pick that up. But yeah,
I mean, I'm talking.
Sonic, you made a video too, Sonic.
I mean, I'm talking about a game. I'm talking about a game theory. Like 9 times out of 10, it's a Five Nights at Freddy's thing.
It's
that gives him the most views. MatPat is a being of logic. He finds what works and he zones in on it, which is something I admire a lot. But Sonic, I imagine you brought this up because there's a video you made that I was told not to watch. Is that video the opposite, where it proves that there's no way that Shang Tsung is Liu Kang?
Well, you see, I was hoping we could end this topic before the...
Is that the new video?
Yes.
Because I started watching that and like about a minute in, I got a message from Sonic saying, "Don't watch the new video. I want to talk about it on the podcast." I'm like, fine, I'll stop.
Thank you, Snake. I thought it would be a much more fun surprise to tell you guys what the new video is about. First off, don't worry, Trotter Dog. This has nothing to do with your theory. Although personally, I will say, if it does come true, holy crap, you are the biggest like fortune teller ever, Trotter Dog. But like it is, I still think it would be insane if they do that though. Like you said, like betrays a lot of loot. Brusque Poet would be the most mad person ever if that turned out to be true. He'd be like, "My baby was Shang Tsung this whole time, man!"
He'd be more mad than when I rage quit on him during the stress test.
We'll get into that later, but I think we'll just leave this as the last conversation. But basically, the new video I made was more inside to the exclusive topic we mentioned on our last podcast, which, by the way, I want to say, surimase, very sorry. Apparently, some people got mad that we used the word exclusive on the title, and I mentioned it many times because it wasn't necessarily from NRS exclusively told to us to tell to the audience. It was from us, so people said clickbait. So very sorry about that. Surimase. Do you guys remember about the whole, and you see the Chinese banner that says Mortal Kombat and the tea house, all that kind of shenanigan topics? Basically, I thought I closed a chapter on that, but with the recent stress test, I found new information that like I thought was so awesome. I explain all this in the video if you guys want more context, but I'm just gonna give the TLDR here because I don't want to spend too much time on this. Essentially, I watched Maximilian's video playing the game, and I noticed that when you have the cameo throws, or actually any throw really, the camera will turn dynamically depending on the throws sometimes. So it's like the camera will go close up and like, oh, super cool effects and all that kind of stuff. Specifically, I noticed Sonya's will turn the camera to like a completely like different angle to like you can see the other side of the stage that you're not supposed to see normally. And I thought, oh, that's kind of cool. And I thought, well, let me just kind of see what's actually on the other side of this tea house part, which I got the Force Snake to record that footage for me. Thank you very much, the Force Snake. Maximilian's footage was a little bit more blurry for this detail, and your footage made it very, very clear. So I got to be like, yes, exactly, that is what I saw. And what I found, I was so like happy and also just like completely shocked. Off topic, but in the video I thanked the Force Snake, and I'm like, you know what, thank you very much, Snake, for providing the footage. But when I used the picture to represent Snake for like, oh, this is what the Force Snake looks like, I used this fan art because like they sent me the because the artist also sent this on my fan art stage. Thanks for Snake, and I just put this image on.
Oh, so that's okay. But I was told not to lewd Snake when I was drawing fan art. He said specifically not to.
Are we still on this? This has been like a topic going for like months already.
I mean,
I'm just hurt.
First off, you didn't even finish that art, so shut the fuck up. Second of all, I don't mind being my female self being a big booty bitch. That's fine. I don't want it to be like MK9 like stripper mode. You know what I mean? I want some class. I want some class to this art of a big booty bitch. Come on, get with it, dude.
Okay, but now here is the exclusive. I should stop saying that. I'm triggering myself. Information that I found.
I mean, technically, this probably is exclusive because like everyone who else speaks like Chinese and is like, I know what this says. No one. It's just you. You're the only one in this entire fandom.
For Americans, and not only that, who would turn the camera and see this? Because this is what I found when I turned the camera. You see here, this is a stage of Sonya using the grab, and the camera would turn, and you can see the background of the stage. And what's that? Do I see another? Well, I think they're called couplets. Actually, I say they're banners, but I think they look more like spring couplets. I've got an example right here, like these sort of things, basically. Chinese spring couplets. You get these nice things here.
Get on with it.
There's one on the bottom left. You guys see that there?
The red one.
Does that looks kind of familiar? I think it also just says 真人快打, which means Mortal Kombat again. Very cool. But oh, what's that? There's a magical fifth Chinese character on the bottom. Huh. I wonder what that means. Oh, Well, let me translate that. It says Mortal Kombat T. Oh. It actually says Mortal Kombat T. Like the sipping that tea basically. So when I told you guys, I was like, oh, that there might be says Mortal Kombat T, but those are just leaves basically. Sorry guys, I was wrong about that. No, it actually does say Mortal Kombat T.
The TLDR of this whole thing is here's the Mortal Kombat T.
Yes.
I
say that in my own video
too. They better
too.
sell it on a T-shirt now. I want Mortal Kombat T, like specifically. And what I'm hoping is, because the PS5 is so powerful and has access to more RAM and like memory, I hope that these menus we see don't just have scribble textures that you can't quite define, even when you break the game and have a camera mod floating around. I hope there's a full list of menu with nothing but puns around Mortal Kombat. There better be. Like just a bunch of quips and puns, and every flavor is like a reference to the game. Like White Lotus could be a flavor, Dark Brotherhood could be a flavor. Like, that'd just be cool to me.
See, I want them to do a whole line of Mortal Kombat tea, and it's like all tea leaves, but with different themes. Like these ones add a bit of, it's like orange ones add a bit of spice. This is the Fire Garden tea variant, and then and each one they called variants or variations like the games, and then you have like one that makes it cool. This one's your Lin Kuei one, the tea of forgiveness or brotherhood is a nod to MKX, and just stuff like that. That'd be cool.
And then for the ultimate reference, one of them better say "normal people fight" or whatever that.
Oh, just literally just the English one of them. Yeah, real person combat, basically. Yeah, real person combat.
Real person combat.
Yeah, I just look at this and I really just wonder. In the same stage, you can find Mortal Kombat T and Mortal Kombat Tournament on two different like places. It does feel more like a reference to me the more that I look at it, which I really hope it isn't, because like that's so funny. It's just like in a tea house, it's just Mortal Kombat T.
So one definitely does say tournament.
Yes, the flyer. Remember on the flyer that does say Mortal Kombat Tournament, and it does say
dumb
peace
because
on it.
It's a tea drinking tournament.
That would be
it's
awesome
like a tournament
if that's the case. I wouldn't mind that being the answer. I wish there was just an answer for this, and I hope it's not just a reference.
Or maybe it's a relation to the new minigame that they're going to add. They're going to add a minigame that's like a Gwent,
test your tea.
Or Gwent style card game.
Yeah,
and it's like that like Liu Kang made a collectible card game in this timeline, like Mortal Kombat.
That's the secret mode that they've been hinting at. They're like, there's a special mode. The crypt isn't back here. What's gonna be back? Mortal Kombat T card game.
Although, honestly, I think Test Your Sight could be really funny for like a tea drinking like contest thing, where it's like one of these has a tea that's like very nice. Or it's alcohol or something. The others, those ones are very hot and spicy, and it's like you have to watch it. And you pick one, and you have to like down the shot, and then if you hold it in, it's like I go on to the next round. But it's until someone goes like it's the what's that challenge where people put like spice or something in their mouth and
cinnamon challenge, like, right?
So if you do that, you lose. Otherwise, I go through like a proper drinking game. That's what I want from Test Your Sight, not just poison where you die, which was funny to be fair, but this is what I want to see. I want to see Test Your Sight that's like this.
I want to see animations. Yeah, indeed. The I want to mention this though, because like one of my fans put this out to me, and it was like it probably is just a reference, because there's another one that I think that's kind of funny, that I never noticed this on my first watch. In the very first debut trailer in the gameplay, where Kung Lao throws that ha thing to like Bihan. On the background, you can see more Chinese characters over there and stuff like that. Yeah. But the one that's kind of funny is, this is kind of hard to point out. It's the most bottom one. There's like the one that says like there's just 2 words, but on the top one there says like Niu Pa. That's not written in the correct like direction. That's basically like mirrored. It's like if I wrote the word like a English word and it's mirrored. That's basically what it's written on there. So that's a little bit of a mistake on that part, but like, yeah, there's a lot of like those kind of things you can find in this stage, because it's filled with Chinese stuff on it. But yeah, just kind of funny. I just wanted to update you guys about the Mortal Kombat T, because like Snake, you were like, oh, I hope have you seen like Batman and Harley Quinn, because they did that whole like thing in there. It's like, well, they actually did that here basically. It actually does say Mortal Kombat T, so that was that hyped me up a bit.
Yeah, and what's funny is that could be intentional that they mirrored it, just because like that's, no one's going to notice it, but also it's a very common texture mistake to do that when you're doing 3D modeling, because
I can see that, honestly.
It actually inverts the texture by default, so if you aren't like clever enough to actually reflip it in the UV map, then it's just backwards. So it could be an intern just made this mistake, or it could be they wanted to make it illegible, so they just flipped it to make it gibberish.
Actually, it's funny you say that, because the thing on the top is wrong, but the one on the bottom is right.
Oh, that is.
So why would they invert the one on the top and not the one on the bottom? So
do you mean the 2 sticky notes are different sticky notes, or do you mean like the same sticky note has one part that's correct?
You see the sticky note with the 4 Chinese characters on it on the very bottom? Like, yeah, the one on the bottom, those 2 are right, but the one on the top, they're inverted. So that would be very weird to get wrong.
Or a different sticky note?
The same sticky note. The one on the same sticky note.
Oh. Well, yeah, they just messed up then. Or did it on purpose to make it, gibberish.
I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, some fun theories going on here.
I picture an intern whose job, Sonic, was to just make the stage, right? And they weren't told that during a cutscene, like, Kung Lao's thing, like, sticks in the wall and it's, like, that close. They, like, I wasn't told the camera was going to get that close.
It could be, it could be a thing.
I was goofing off, just doing like stuff.
No, the PS5 elitists are gonna be so mad. They want every detail to be right.
That's a nice looking wood right there, too. That's a detailed wood. I've never seen such a good wood texture. My
good cutscene detail wood. Never seen such good textures since the Resident Evil 2 hamburger.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, these are just basically some Mortal Kombat 1 other things we want to chat about. But now, let's get into what happened. Well, actually, it's been a week since the stress test ended, but we have 2 lucky people here who got to play the stress test, and me, who watched a bunch of videos and did that whole entire theory because of one throw animation. But yeah, so yeah, why don't you guys gush about what you got? Well, how was your stress test experience? I'll just be chilling here and listening.
Well, I guess I can go first, just because there's not as much to say. I didn't play a ton of it. I didn't play any of the online stuff because I just don't care for fighting games online, which means I didn't get to see any of the intros, because when you do the towers mode, the towers mode goes right into the shove back
animation,
the shove back reaction. Yeah, it goes right to that. So there are no intros there, and you can't even view the characters on character select. It just shows the tower, which MKX did the same thing, where you wouldn't see the character, you just see the tower, and it's like, well, I don't know what my character is going to look like unless I know exactly what the skin is. So you can suck my ass, NetherRealm, on that one. But Yeah. So I did a run with everyone except Katana. The only bit of Katana I actually did was for that video, where I just kept I didn't even really do much in attacking. I just kept having Sonya do the throw over and over again to move Kenji away. But
yeah, you got the perfect angle, by the way, Snake. You got it perfectly, like all the way back there, so you get the best quality that I can see. It says done quite that. In Maximilian's video, it's not clear, so I couldn't, like, my friends, I showed my family again. They were like, it does 90% look like that, but I'm not sure. I'm like, get that HD footage, baby, and boom, it's right there.
I have to imagine it was just like a stream VOD that was used, and that's why it's
yeah. And also YouTube, maybe, yeah.
Yeah, whereas mine was just like, record the footage, send it to you via Google Drive. So like you got like the best quality you could get.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Thanks a lot for that.
The game looks so pretty when you actually. To everyone watching it on YouTube, the game looks so pretty when you're actually playing it. Like you can't really judge it when you're looking at YouTube, unless you're watching mine where I like upscale it and put like filters on to make it look kind of as pretty as it is in the game. But like it just looks so good.
You did have it on 4K, huh? Like you actually had it on 4K. That was default
with Elgato. They did that to us. The ones that.
That's nice.
So at the capture event, like, so yeah.
Wait, I want to say something here. True Dog, you're so awesome, so nice for making uploading actual 4K content and titling it. Unlike Snake, where he uploaded the fatality comparison and put 4K in the title, and it wasn't actually 4K.
Because it was funny.
That's awesome.
Come on.
That is funny.
Yeah, I know.
Even for my Katana video, not the newest one that Ed Boon retweeted. Yes.
Congratulations, dude. I was like, that was amazing.
One of my lowest performing videos. We'll see if it gets a little bump. I'll call it the Boon bump. If it does a bit better now that he's tweeted about it. Yeah.
With me, it's like the idea of getting acknowledged by Ed Boon is both a dream and a fucking nightmare, because I'm sure he would despise me. So I'm like, oh no. Like, I'd love to meet the man and talk to him about MK and such, but I don't think he would like me very much. So I'm like, maybe it's for the best that if I never ever meet this man, who is essentially my hero when you think about it, because he like co-created MK. But like, yeah.
Similar feeling with you, Snake, because I have the Sucks video series, which I'm kind of like, I love you, Ed Boon. Please don't hate me too much.
I feel like people would view yours and say if you like it's more playful, whereas I feel more spiteful.
Okay, yeah.
So.
Yeah. Well, I mean, look at me. I have the costume hypocrisy like video where I straight up like call out the costume designer and stuff. So now that they're being nice to me, I'm worried it's all going to come to light. So, for example, even in that retweet from Ed Boon, some of the first like 5 comments are people who are either mad at me or being like, Ed Boon, why are you giving preference to Underdog but not this channel that makes the exact same content, but you blacklisted them? And I'm like, what? Listen, like, why can't a man just get retweeted? Why has it got to be like true exposed dog? All right, well, he's been
retweeting a lot of people recently. It's just like all over people and stuff.
And I'm all for it, because for a while I felt a bit like ignored. Not just me, but like in general, he only retweeted like Super, and I was like, why does he never retweet like anybody else who does like Mortal Kombat stuff?
Yeah, for the MK1 hype, he has been retweeting a lot more people recently.
It did always feel like it was like 3 people that would ever get acknowledged by NetherRealm and Ed Boon, and they'd be like Losty Girl, or however you meant to say that, and then you have like, I don't know, maybe Uncaged, and like one other person.
Oh, Uncaged, yeah.
That's it.
Everyone
else is like, it's like they're like the Raiden, Liu Kang, and Raiden, Scorpion, Sub-Zero of the series. Like they're the ones who are in all the brought up all the time, and everyone else is like, you're the Baraka, you can come back every now and then. Might reference you once or twice. This guy, he's the Su Hao. He's never going to get acknowledged in this thing. It's like I'm the Su Hao.
You say that.
Recently, he retweeted like Sonic Fox.
He's Emperor Su Hao.
Emperor Su Hao. That's right. That one. That's that funny clip. But yeah, he retweeted Sonic Fox. He retweeted Brusque Poet. He retweeted I forgot he or if the Mortal Kombat Twitter retweeted Realmcast, which I was like, oh wow, nice. Congrats Realmcast. That's good for you guys.
Were you gonna say anything more, Snake? I'm sorry.
I barely said anything about it. Got sidetracked.
We were having fun just shouting.
I mean, you get to play both the day and night versions of Johnny's House, which is quite cool. That they have both versions. The Tea House as well, actually, but both, which I guess is how they have. If you do an arcade run, basically, you have 4 fights. You fight each character You get to go in each version of the stage, but because there's only, but you do have to do a bit of repetition because there are only 3 assist characters, so you have to fight one of them twice. And God help you if it's Jax, because Jackson Friendly Fire Briggs is on the case.
I love him. I love him so much. He's an anti-fatality character.
I love the clip where it's like the opponent loses and it's like finish him, but the opponent summons Kameo Jax. Oh, boom! It hits his own opponent and then the round ends. You ain't doing it a fatality on my friend, bro. You ain't doing it.
Jax storms in. Oh hell no! Boom! And saves his partner by knocking him out.
I have a legit question then. So if you summon Jax, do you just have to jump yourself to dodge that? Is that what you have to do?
Or just not be in his splash radius. You could like cross up the opponent, and then like his punch will knock them towards you. There's going to be so many ways to set that up, but I'll say that for my part.
I mean, admittedly, because the game does have more of an emphasis on aerial combat compared to the last few games, you are given some more tools to avoid that. But it is just frustrating to be like, yeah, when it's Jax versus Jax as the Kameo characters, oh god, it's just non-stop. Both characters getting knocked. It's like when you have like the earthquake effects on in like MK9, the challenge tower, and it's like fall over for no reason. Funny. And it's like,
I'd like to ask a question to True Underdog. Do you think that's a good idea for Jax to hit his own like teammate? Is that a good thing? Or okay,
not for the player, but they had to do that because otherwise they'd have the problem with MK9 where they were guaranteed setups with Jax's ground pound, but this time it would be with the Kameo. So if there wasn't some requirement for you to avoid it or get hit by it also, you'd have touch of death like with Jax. You could do like your 40% combo, and then as the opponent's on the ground, get a guaranteed unblockable, and then get another like 30% combo. I think that NetherRealms is trying to avoid that, which is why it hits both of you.
Okay, that sounds good to me, because then that wouldn't make it so like the most OP Kameo character can just guarantee super combos. Good, like with that in mind.
Yeah. You could even and that's a good point. You could even guarantee fatal blows, which would probably be too strong. You'd have a guaranteed unblockable on a knockdown opponent, and then as Jax is coming out, you could do fatal blow, and because it doesn't hit you, you'd get a guaranteed fatal blow. But since it hits you, it would actually ruin it. Yeah. So that's a good point also.
I do agree with that assessment. I just feel like taking damage from it is too much. Like, not the knockdown, fine. Okay. But I think losing health to use Jax. I mean, if they had that be a character gimmick, like Shang Tsung takes some of your soul every time to do an attack, like that's the cost of using him. He does more damage, but it costs health to do it. That'd be cool. But with Jax, you shouldn't take damage. You just fall over and that's it.
Okay, fair enough.
I like that when you do a critality, it's not just like a random spike comes up and kills you, it's the character just commits suicide.
Harakiri. I wish they were unique to your character, though. Yeah. Like, I hope they...
Yeah, me too. I loved it, but then I was like, it's just a neck snap. It's just a Kung-Lao reference. Man.
If Sindel comes back and they get unique Harakiris, they gotta bring back the deception where she just jumps onto her own head. It's my favorite thing ever.
Hey, I still see you using it. I still see you, Snake. You used it recently again. I saw it.
Yeah. You know, Kenshi could have a really good one. The spirit comes out and kills him. No. It's you know how like a proper Harakiri is like you cut your stomach and then someone else decapitates you. The spirit's there to decapitate Kenshi while he's doing it.
It'd be sick.
It'd be way cooler than the Deception rendition where Kenshi's just like.
Does an actual Harakiri?
I mean, that is actually a Harakiri though, so I kind of get that.
But it's just like he just cuts himself a bit, takes the sword out, then just falls over dead. And it's like, if he had a fucking ghost samurai behind him ready to cut his head off, that'd be way cooler.
Oh, that does sound pretty cool. Yeah. I will say
I like the way the classic looks in this game better compared to the brutality compared to the last game. There's no spine coming out this time. The head just flies off, but it doesn't go up as high. It just almost like you've punched it off and it just flops off. I think it just looks better. And the blood spray I feel is a lot more convincing than just like, but it's like blood is all over the body. It does look. I think the blood effects are a lot better in this game compared to 11's honestly kind of dog shit effects. Like it looked like strawberry jam. It was really weird.
I see.
Especially for the fatal blows parts, right?
Those were horrific. But yeah, I mean, there's a lot I can say about this whole thing that I liked that you can see in the video, which my first ever sponsor. Hey.
Yeah, congratulations! What an awesome sponsor moment too. By the way, you did a whole entire skit, and you constantly just had puns every sentence. It's like you had to take time to write that. I was so amused with our whole entire sponsor section.
Yeah, people seem to love that. I mean, a bunch of people are like, yeah, you know what? I'm glad I didn't skip it because that was a brilliant segue. I'm like, if people like it.
It was.
I do worry about what will happen if we get another VPN sponsor, and I'm like, so you're in MK3, right? And then like the Earthrealm stuff has moved to the Outworld server. It's been migrated over. Go to Chaos Realm. Yeah.
NordVPN.
That'd be awesome.
I still want. I would love a NordVPN sponsorship just so I have an excuse to scream Nordal Combat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would be awesome.
I love seeing your enthusiasm for sponsor videos. It'll slowly go away as you do more and more, and you'll get lazier and lazier, as I did.
You gotta go the internet historian route. You gotta put so much effort into the sponsorship that people love watching it too.
Nobody can match that guy's energy. No one can match those sponsors.
He is the GOAT. He is literally the best at doing the sponsorship videos.
Did a whole anime intro for one of his NordVPN sponsors. It didn't even say any info about Nord. It just had Nord.
There's continuity in those ads.
That's right. Yes, there is the Nordman continuity, like the cinematic universe, basically.
But sorry, go back to Snake.
You were talking about now for the negative parts.
Yeah.
What you like about the game?
I don't have too many complaints about the gameplay aside from the specific thing that I feel like the cameos are too big a part of the gameplay because I feel like it makes things a bit too hectic. I also find it funny because I recorded a bit of MKX footage for the video. You can see the bit where Cassie like hits Sindel and both go flying. When I was getting that, I was like, didn't someone say that this game like speed wise is closer to MKX? Something like that. I'm sure.
I think so.
I think it might have been Uncaged or something. I'm just like, whoever said that is just delusional because the speed is nowhere near. It's way closer to 11.
No, not Uncaged. Don't need to put Uncaged in this. It was Sonic Fox. Sonic Fox. Someone said it's like MK9 basically.
Because I'm sure so compared to X, but it's like X is just like MK on speed. MKX is way faster than this.
X is super fast. Yeah.
So whether it was whether it was Sonic Fox or SonicHaXD, whoever it was, is delusional.
I never played the game. How do you put me into this?
Because you're both called Sonic, clearly.
Okay.
Sonic.
I never interacted with them before though.
Sonic Fox XD. But yeah, so to try and so I feel like.
So let me add something. So you would say you would agree with True Underdog's statement of this being slower than MK11? Would you say that?
I'm not sure. It's definitely comparable. I feel like because Dog has played the game both of these a lot more than I have, so I can imagine that he would have a firmer grasp on the specific speeds of the two. Whereas with me, it's definitely similar to 11. Like it's not a huge departure. Other aspects are closer to older games, like the way the enhancement of moves goes. You press the button now at the same time. And they've also changed what the button is from 11, so that's the Kameo button, I believe, now. So in that respect, it's a lot closer to, say, MKX or 9, when you're enhancing a special move.
Yeah, that's how it works in 9, too.
So that's... I feel like it is somewhat going... I mean, also the fact that they've not got any interactables, the gameplay feels like it is trying to harken back to MK9 in a way, which is interesting because it's like the story is like a whole new era, everything's brand new, and the game's like, let's just take the gameplay back a bit, which... On the one hand, yeah, that's a bit lame, but on the other hand, it's like, I've seen games where they overhaul too many different parts. I played Dynasty Warriors 9. That game was abysmal. And it's like, did you have to go open world and ruin the game structure and change the combat so that it's all just dog shit, you do the same combo every time? I don't think you had to, but just to wrap it up, I think the gameplay's alright, other than the fact that I feel the cameos are a bit intrusive. I think that maybe if the gauge built a bit slower or something. It's weird. It's still weird to me that the whole game is built around 2v2 combat, but it's not tag team. Like the towers will focus, but the tower will be like, here's the character, here's who their partner is. Victory screens and intro animations are shared with the cameo character. The whole thing is built around having 2 characters on your team, but you can only actually control one of them. Like it's such a weird thing to do. Why is there not a tag team? I mean, do you reckon we'll get a tag team mode like added to the game later?
Nope. I don't think so. Well, unless if it's a bonus mode, honestly. That's just what I think, honestly. I think they really emphasize on how interesting and the experience of the Kameo Fighter will be in this fighting game. So that's why they want to put that emphasis there. But like Snake is saying, you're not playing 2 characters. You're playing a character, and that's your assist. Basically.
So basically, if you've not had a chance to play the game and you want to experience what it's like, load up MK11, go on the classic towers, and use a tower consumable that gives you a character as an assist, and use that. Other than the fact that it's a little more finicky to pick which move you're doing because it's based on, I think, which direction you're pressing, as opposed to which button you flick the right analog stick. I feel like the controls work better in 11 compared to what we've got here. But other than that, it's basically that system, like 1-to-1. So I think even all that one, like the character becomes available again a bit quicker, but it's the same deal basically. And I just think it's really weird that they've not made it a full tag mode or made those characters more a bonus, a little accessory, as opposed to this is the game, not a part of the game. This is the game. This is what the game is built around. The cameos.
Yep.
It's so strange.
I did see a very funny tweet where some people are saying like, okay, well this is cute and all, but like, could we actually have like a single player fighting game without the assist mode in the game? Like, could we do that? And it was that one Doom meme where it's like, can we get the classic mode back? And then the developer, well, the original was from Doom. It's just someone edited for the Mortal Kombat. And then the developer just says, "You control the buttons you press."
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that meme basically. Although, like Tronerdog said, basically this game does, like, the cameo system is like intertwined into the game. Like you have to use it for certain characters, or else they are not going to be able to do as good as other characters with combos and stuff like that. So they really are pushing that emphasis on this like cameo fighter system.
Yeah, a lot of people complain about Katana. I think like saying that she's like kind of really
and the cool thing is.
She's the most creative character. What are you talking about? Ed Boon retweeted that one video, remember? The most creative fighter character.
The dumbest comment I saw to that tweet was, the game's not even fully out yet. How can you say that she's the most creative?
Yes, I saw that.
No shit.
That's the first one I saw.
No shit. Do I really have to put the most detailed title ever just so some idiot doesn't get mad about how I title it? Do you want me to put the freaking date I uploaded it to in the title?
Mortal Kombat,
the most creative fighter currently.
Katana is the most creative character featured in the Mortal Kombat 1 stress test, not the final game. I need to make that clear, you fucking Neanderthals, and you can't even fit a title that long in it.
2023 June. Remember to put the date there, just to make sure they don't get it wrong.
It reminds me of people that are so dumb, and I'm only bringing this up because I got multiple comments of this. They go, "Did he not watch the trailer or something?" And it's like, can you just look at the date my video was published, and then look at when the trailer came out, and just understand that I made the video prior? Like, is it that hard? Instead of just assuming that every video you watch is in canonical order to what you watch it in. So therefore, because you watched my video after, it must have been uploaded after the trailer. Anyway, is it time for my thoughts?
Yeah, let's go.
Coolio,
we got the professional thoughts here. We got Stress Test, Dog, and now the professional coach. That's right. That's coming up really soon.
The guy who knows what he's talking about with the gameplay. That's the one.
Honestly, yeah. And also, now he's been just non-stop playing for 3 days, so he's got a lot of opinions to say now instead of just 40 minutes.
Fun.
So
it was a lot of fun. Yeah, I want to start off with the fact that I haven't seen anybody else mention yet, because I was kind of shocked when I noticed it, but I guess no one else was looking for it. So when you do a forward throw, it's your cameo, right? Turns out that's more than just appearances. Sonya Blade's throw does the most damage. So cameos will actually change the damage of your forward throw. Kano's did like middle of the road, and then Jax, unless you spent meter on it, did the lowest damage. It just did 10%. Sonya does 13%, but Jax can be amplified twice, for his classic 4-way throw that he had in MK9 and then even before that. And then it does 19%, which doesn't seem like it's worth the 2 bars, but you build meter crazy fast in this game. I know that because my opponents kept doing combo breaker, and I could swear to God they just used it. So that's how quick you build I
noticed something that I personally really liked when I saw some gameplay footage. It was like because of the cameo system and because of like what's going on the stage is a lot more hectic. There are interactions that can like change that I was not expecting. The throw, I saw someone use a throw that got interrupted. It was like he was using the cameo throw and he was about to use it, but like I think it was like Sub-Zero's clone or like it was like Katana's fan was still there, so the throw animation got into that and it interrupted it and it just stopped the throw. And I was like, that can happen? That's actually really cool. One small detail I also really loved is when Sub-Zero uses the cameo throw, he will freeze the opponent to let the cameo fighter like go in on him. Yeah. Like before the cameo fighter goes in on him. I'm like, that's a cute detail. I'll freeze him, go. And then the cameo throw will be used on him. I love that little detail too.
It's really cute how they tie in together. My only beef, since we're still talking about throws, my only beef is sometimes there's that weird awkward pause where they're both just standing there and they're waiting for the opponent to get back up and they're off screen a little bit where the cameo runs away. Then they just step back in and it looks not correct. Like it's got to be fixed somehow to be more fluid. I don't care if like the cameo, just flip it to where the cameo actually runs off screen and the main character's already in their right spot. Whatever you have to do, because not only is it like jarringly a slowing down of the pace, but also I can't tell visually when I'm actually able to attack again with my character when they step back in. It's not exactly clear. So from a competitive standpoint, that's kind of annoying and kind of jarring to not know exactly when I can press my button. You know, it's kind of a big deal for me personally. Sure, you can memorize the timing, but it's just kind of an annoying thing to an annoying hurdle, if you will.
I have a bit of a question about the stress test, which I guess both of you can. Oh, okay.
Go ahead. I just saw you're being all adorable with your hand up.
So, because are you both able to actually write an email with feedback after the stress test? Like, did you guys write something, or like, how did that go? Because isn't the stress test supposed to be like testing it out, and then you actually give feedback about how you felt about the stress test and stuff like that?
I didn't know about that. Was there actually an option to do that?
I'm asking you guys. You guys got the stress test. That's why I'm wondering.
Oh, no,
that's what I thought.
To my knowledge, I haven't tried to play the game after the stress test ended. Maybe if you log in and try to play it, you'll get that, but I don't think so. I would not be surprised if it didn't show up. The stress test was more of making sure their servers could handle it, as opposed to getting like feedback. But there was some stuff on Twitter that Ed Boon responded to with feedback. Like, for example, there's a brand new mechanic called the up block, which not many people know about, and even I myself forgot to use it. So for anyone watching, you hold block and just hold up on the D-pad, and what this does is it makes jump-ins way worse on block for the opponent. So if they just do a careless jump-in punch and you up-block it, you get a full punish when they land. Like, they're just fucked. And it's meant to de-incentivize jump-ins, but also make it to where, like, if you want to do a raw jump-in at a high level, you better summon a cameo, because they're just going to up-block you. And also what's cool is it works on overheads, which is interesting too. So if you're fighting someone whose string ends in an overhead, like Sub-Zero's, and you guess right, you can up-block it, and you get like a full punish when normally it's safe. So that's really cool. I like the potential of that when it comes to the mind games, except when Scarlet and Shao Kahn come back, and they have the most up-block gaps in the game, just like in MK11. But here's the feedback someone did on Twitter. They said, I love this new mechanic. It would be cool if it had a unique sound, so I knew when I actually did it. And everyone went, that's good feedback. That's actually really good feedback. And I was like, because Flawless Block has it. It goes,
sounds like a parry in some senses. It's just like, king, you got it. Okay, now we can punish. That sounds like a good idea. In like the JoJo Battle All-Star game, if you successfully like block or dodge when your opponent hits you, you will perform something known as the fashionable dodge. So like whoever you're playing as will do the JoJo pose and move to the side and then be able to like punish your opponent. There is an animation for that to be like, oh, I got it, and stuff like that. It literally like they will do the JoJo pose and then like fight.
Yeah. You know, it could be a really fun way to make a character like Goro, like as a sub boss, better. Like you know the way they get advantages that a normal character doesn't get. Well, Goro's got 4 arms. He could block in 2 directions. Oh, so he could be blocking forward and above, and then he just has more. It's harder to get a hit in when he's blocking.
He gets the double block, the up block and the middle block. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so it's like
we all know that Goro doesn't block.
So it's like if he's crouched,
that's true.
If he's crouched, his head's exposed. So you have to do jump ins. Whereas if he's standing, you have to go low. He basically always blocks mid. And then when you lose, he's like, haha, Goro always defeats mid. Like, he's calling you mid. And that it's also secretly a tip for how to beat him.
Mid.
He's like a punch-out boss. He's got like the little King Hippo weakness.
Punch-out boss, that's right!
Hit him in the belly button.
Yeah.
Also, you mentioned getting hit out of the throws, but that can actually work against you too. Like, your opponent can get guaranteed damage off throws, even if you break them by calling in the Kameo early, which is super scary to think about. Like, you can be at the corner with almost no health left. They call in Jax, go for their throw, and if you don't jump to avoid the throw, like, make that guess, then you break the throw, but Jax still goes, hits the ground and kills you.
That's kind of a cool way to do it.
Yeah. And I would say if anyone's curious about the cameos, like which one's better, I wouldn't say it's even about that. It's like degree of difficulty. Sonya is the easiest cameo because she has that really fast upward attack that's like super easy to time. You just press it when she needs to come out, and she's usually fast enough to get what you need.
Yeah.
Does good damage too, and she leaves quick, which means if you need to, you can do her twice in the same combo because she's just so fast to get off screen. Also, the throw does the most damage, so very beginner-friendly cameo. The next tier is Kano, because his knives are so good, because he just steps in and throws 2 of them, which means they break armor. Super good. It also can keep you safe after moves that would normally be unsafe, and it can extend combos after lows and stuff, because it juggles. The issue is, he's really delayed, so you have to call him in early, or he just won't be fast enough, right? He can also hold the Kano ball, which is a more advanced tactic to learn. My hair is slipping out from my hat. Okay, don't want to be Bully Maguire.
The hair is slipping out.
And his throw does less damage than Sonya's, so like it's a bit of a nerf in that regard. Jax is like the experts only. I refuse to even use him because his anti-air is not only delayed like Kano's, but he doesn't go where I want him to. Like every single time, he come in and jump and just miss completely. And I was like, damn, he just never goes where I want him to. The unblockable is super good if you know how to use it, so that's another like skill level thing. And then his throw, being able to burn meter, is like a meter management ability. Like if you're good at using your meter correctly, you'll have 2 bars for when he throws to get that 20%, which is also really good. So it's all a matter of like the difficulty for now, and not like which one's the best, And some of them did pair better with others. Like Sonya was a great addition with Katana, because Katana has so many moves that leave the opponent up. So it's good to have Sonya to come in. Shujinki Dink, when I fought him, actually showed me the most damaging combo with Katana. There was like 35%, and it cost no meter, just a cameo. So it turns out that Katana can get damage. Just got to find the right route. But otherwise, she's the lowest damaging character, except she had an infinite. Did y'all see that? I didn't know about that, but she's an infinite.
Know. I just
it's not even hard. It's the worst kind of infinite. Yeah, it's the worst kind of infinite. It's just 2 buttons, just like 4-2-4 or something, and it's got so much hit advantage that you can just do it again, and it keeps the combo going, and there's no way to escape it. So you can just keep doing it, and it keeps doing so much damage, and it's got people to rage quit, of course, because like you can only handle that for so long before you're like, this is not fair, and you just leave.
Quitality.
It's the worst kind of infinite, is what I'm saying. It's not even like a Marvel 3 infinite where it's actually really hard to do. But it's kind of hype when you see someone pull it off. No, this was the most brain dead Raiden MK11 with like his punch lightning. It's the exact same thing brought back. It's just too good.
I remember that. It's not
super, you Jim.
So it's not the. So you want to do we want to learn how to do a fucking infinite?
I love that video. So I'm surprised that meme I did
so much.
Didn't get more reception of like the girl like single men, where you at? And it's like, yo, you want to learn how to do a fucking infinite? It's like that's where we are. We're learning the
24 hours.
infinites.
What do you want to do?
Well, that was good too. Yeah, if I got 24 hours of me and I can't say no. Yo, you want to learn a fucking infinite?
No, dog. Good. You tweeted a tweet saying like the meme where it's like, you have 24 hours to do whatever you want with me. What are we doing? And you brought up like Challenge Tower 300, all the Challenge Tower.
That would be a dream come true, to force an e-girl to play like a really tough video game, because they're probably already like averse to video games in general, and now you're forcing them to do it for 24 hours.
Yeah.
And actually get good.
Jump King 24-hour streak, like, oh, lose your sanity with that.
The fatal blow damage does not change based on which cameo you have, in case anyone's curious about that. I don't think it changes. So that's fair. Otherwise, that'd be a bit too much of a reason to pick a certain cameo. That's why Meat is the best cameo, guys. His fatal blow.
Am I crazy, or did the fatal blows do more damage this time than MK11?
They hurt a lot, that's for sure, because I ended up winning a match against Rufelmonger because I got lucky and just squeezed out a 2-hit combo into Fatal Blow, and it did like 48%. And I was like, I'm the best.
In 11, it was like
skill issue.
It was like a third of the health last time. I'm sure it's like closer to a half in this one. It feels like it's just way more damage.
Yeah, which I think is good only because, don't forget, Combo Breaker works on Fatal Blows. I had a very skilled player do that to me. I think Titanium Tigers did it, and it broke my heart because like I thought I finally got him. I was like beating his Kenshi, and I did Fatal Blow, and he had never spent his meter, and I wondered why. I'm like, oh, he's just like testing. He's probably just trying to get good without meter. That way, if he's ever put in a situation at a tournament, he knows what to do without meter. That's what I thought. And I'm a good training dummy because I'm not that good, you know. But then I realized, no, he was saving it in case I hit him with Fatal Blow. And sure enough, I launched him. I'm like, Fatal Blow. I'm like, yeah, eat this. And then boom, just breaks it. I'm like, oh, no. So it's probably why they do more damage because they're also nerfed in a way because you can break them, which is interesting. But yeah, they may do more damage.
Since you got to play online, I'm a little bit curious. So it's like, is it with random people or do you get to choose who you fight with? So
it was random people, but you can accept or decline the match. And if someone declined you, it's probably because they were trying to find their buddy. Me and my friend matched up 3 different times. And the only annoying part was due to his internet not being that good. It didn't lag during the match. It actually ran pretty smoothly. But because he has bad internet, it would randomly drop the match sometimes. And I had to find him all over again. And I was like, damn, I just want to play with my friend.
I see. Yeah, because I was thinking, like, if it's random, it's like, how are some of these people chatting with each other while they're playing with each other? And then, like... Yeah, that's actually how we got the songs early, because people are playing the Tea House song and the Cage Match song because people found people online, and it's like, okay, don't move for 3 minutes, play the whole entire song on YouTube.
Fascinating. Okay, nice. Good tech.
That whole experience sounds like when you play Dark Souls 1 with a friend. It's like, okay, so I need to find your summon sign. Where is it? Oh no, it's not there. Try putting it down again. Then eventually you get them. It's like, yes, here we are. Let's get towards that boss. Oh, invasion. Have to deal with this now. It's basically 1-to-1. Let's be real.
You know, the sad thing, Snake, is it's 2023. It's still that. It's still that way.
Well, that's why I love when I played Elden Ring, because my friends were so eager to like. They kind of ruined the game by holding my hand so much. But the funny part was there was like 3 of them with me while I was playing. So if we ever got invaded, I was like, kill him. And they're like, yes, boss. And they'll just like swarmed him because it's 3v1.
Hang on. Gang squad. Like, so you're telling me you have Elden Ring, and Sonic has Elden Ring, and you two have not done a collaboration yet?
Well, I beat
Sonic,
the game.
What the fuck, bro?
Oh, now it's my fault. What the
Yeah.
I beat the game like last year already, basically, and he's playing it now. He's currently playing it, basically.
But we'll make
I don't know. You want
make a new scaly reptile boy and like join him on his quest.
Yeah, the DLC will come out soon. We can make a video together then, Troner Dog. How about that? We could go.
Roger that.
Or you could be incredibly based and just play Warlong Fallen Dynasty, whose DLC just came out today at the time of recording, and that's good.
Wow.
They've just added a Cestus weapon, so you can go around and beat the shit out of all these 3 Kingdoms people with your hands.
Ooh, I like melee in these type of games. They're really funny, just to beat the shit out of people in Souls.
All right,
yeah.
Especially
time for my Mortal Kombat.
Especially in Neo 2, because you could do the Izuna drop from Yu Hayabusa's moveset. When you did the hand-to-hand, it was so fun. Just grab dudes and just slam them down on the ground like, yep, you die.
Sounds
But that's not
awesome.
really cool. Yeah.
I might go to Neo first before Wolong. Dog, before you explode with pissiness. Yeah, please continue.
I've already shit and cum. It's too late.
Yeah.
No.
At the same time or individually?
It's just a meme. But yeah, so I wanted to do a little quick tier list for Mortal Kombat 1 in case anyone... There's always that one like super casual player's like, but who's the best? So if you have the skill to actually master them, Kenshi's the best currently. Because, of course, he can summon the spirit, right? Now, keep in mind, though, you can't have the spirit and a cameo. It locks the cameo out when you have the spirit out. You can't have 3 guys on screen. Instead, the cameo button becomes the delay your spirit button. So if you want to do attacks and not summon his attacks, you hold the button down. That way you can get like exactly the combos that you want. And it's easy against an AI. Against an opponent who's moving around, it becomes considerably more difficult. But Titanium Tigers mastered it, and from mid-screen was doing 45% damage combos for just 1 bar. And then in the corner getting like 48% with like no bar. So if you memorize like the sequence and how to do it correctly, he's the most damaging character. But then even without the spirit, his zoning is really good. His armored attack doesn't move him, so he can armor through like Sub-Zero's clone like it's not even a problem. Unlike other characters where like their projectile has to pass through the clone and the clone eats a projectile, Kenshi says, whatever, what clone? My stuff is all appearing where you are. So he's like the best zoner and keep away character, and he has the best combos. So I would say currently Kenshi's the best.
I just realized about Kenshi. Kenshi's gonna be the ice climber of this game, isn't he?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's gonna be like, oh, we found an infinite, we found this super OP thing, and they're like, nerf, change. Because that's what happened in the Ultimate.
They really did just look at Virgil from Devil May Cry and say, yep, that's what Kenshi's going to be in this game. Like I think Virgil
specifically just the one Virgil, because before that one game he didn't even do the duplicate thing, did he?
But he did in the reboot. But I mean more from the fact that he's got a lot of Virgil style, and he's just like, because Virgil is OP in every game he's in. Like even like Ultimate Marvel 3.
Ultimate
I think he's still considered like the best character, like in his own tier above everyone else. It's like
that's because they gave him a level 1 super that like guarantees pressure. Like it's ridiculous. The swords are like 1 bar, right? So you can just keep doing them.
So now Kenshi is the storm that he's approaching. Like actually, like Sonic predicted this perfectly. Holy shit.
Yeah. So that's what's really cool about Kenshi. And then I think I was saying something else, but I totally forgot. But it's okay. Kenshi's really good. I'd say right behind him is Sub-Zero and Liu Kang, probably tied, because Sub-Zero has 50-50s, which is super annoying to deal with. And if he has the cameos, he can make it safe. So Sub-Zero's the 50-50 character now, and his combos are super easy. He's the only character that can do 2 of the same special move, like to extend the combo, in the same combo, which I learned by fighting a really good Sub-Zero that bodied me. Because everybody was doing the same combo because it was just good. It was like string into the little new move, the Deadly Vapors, like a little fast ice puddle he does. It freezes you, then just back 2 to launch you with the spine hit, and then little air combo, they come down, and then finish with a string into slide, right? That's what I was doing. It's a solid 33% for just 1 bar. Really good, honestly, off of just a regular confirm or punish. But then apparently you can actually loop the ice puddle twice to get like 40%. Or like 41%. So Sub-Zero just gets 41% if he wants to spend 2 bars. It's a bit costly, but you build meters super fast. And the ice clone is super broken. Go ahead. I see your hand up there, back of the class.
Yes, thank you, teacher dog. Oh wait, I should say teacher Bochet. So the ice
dog
puddle.
Is fine.
I've actually always wondered, so because the ice puddle doesn't function like a freeze ability, basically. It just freezes your feet. How does that function in the game? Does it like, because I see the characters being able to still move and maybe even block, so is it just you can't move? Is that what the ice puddle can do?
The regular version just does like a tiny bit of damage and seems to slow whatever you're currently doing, which leads to some funny interactions. Like I went to throw my opponent and he did the Deadly Vapors, so like I got frozen, but I was still slowly reaching for him, and then when I thawed out, I grabbed him. So if it's the regular version, you just slow down, but they can't actually combo after it. Even so, it's really good for some dirty like throw setups and stuff, because like they recover at frame 0, so you can throw them right away, and they're like, just be ready for it. And the EX version actually just freezes them like a regular ice ball, but they're frozen for a very short time, which is why you can't jump and do a punch or anything. You have to just like back 2 right away. It's almost like a Link. It's pretty strict timing, but you can do it twice in the same combo, so really good. His ice clone is absurd, because unlike every single game until now, there is no longer a space requirement. He can do that thing right in front of your face, and it'll still come out. Whereas in MK9, if you did it too close, nothing would come out, and same with X. And that was on purpose because, come on, it's a wall that he summons out of nowhere that holds you in place, and he backdashes while doing it. So there should be some, like if you're a certain distance to him, he shouldn't be able to do it, right? Because then he'd just do it all the time. Well, they didn't give him a requirement, so he just keeps doing it.
So you're saying that Mr. Cold Wall has a move that's very good where he summons a cold wall?
Yeah. Yeah.
And actually, it is the cold wall. It is Bihan, that's right.
Yeah, so like a lot of players online did not know what to do when I cornered them, and when they got up, I just did forward 1-2 ice clone, and then just dashed in and went for a 50-50. They didn't know what to do. The most they could think of was like neutral jump, because like that way at least like you're not having to guess a 50-50, but I can jump in the air too and just ground bounce them and get a full combo. You can also use the clone mid combo now, and it guarantees freezes them in the corner for like a reset, which is really good too, because again, there's no requirement on distance, so you can summon it right in their face and it's a freeze. The damage ain't really worth it, but it's cool for style points if you want to flex on somebody. But here's the weakness. The ice clone has one bigger weakness than it's ever had, which is that if I corner you and I dash in, if you jab and hit me through the ice clone, you don't get frozen. It goes away.
Okay,
so as long as you hit me, it goes away. There's like a little window of time where like the game is reading like, okay, he should have been frozen, but did he hit Sub-Zero in like the last 3 frames or something before you got frozen? Then you're not frozen. So it's kind of cool.
Okay.
You can like punch me through it. It's more fair that way.
So Game of Thrones Season 8. Okay, got you.
And then Katana's the worst character, but unless you use the Infinite, then she's the best. But otherwise, Katana has the lowest damage. She has no 50-50s. She's meant to be a whiff punish character, I think, which is why she has no mix-ups. She's meant to like outspace you and zone you and whiff punish you, which fine. But typically whiff punish characters do more damage because they don't have mix-ups. So that would have been the fair compromise. But so far, she's the featherweight. She hits the lightest.
Yeah.
So I think she may get a slight damage buff, unless you just want to do the same Shujinky Dink combo over and over again and get your 35%. So there's my Mortal Kombat tier list. You got Kenshi at the top. You have, I'd say, Liu Kang and Sub-Zero are tied. Sub-Zero's easier, though, than Liu Kang. It has way more mix-up, so he's probably a bit better than Liu Kang, honestly. But Liu Kang's the keep-away monster. He's your dead shot. So if you hate keep-away, that you're going to fear Liu Kang because he's annoying. He's got, like, he has the low dragon, which I love the animation on the low dragon. He just summons it. It goes across the ground. Super sick. But if you meter burn it, he does 2. And I think it even hits twice, maybe, but maybe not. It's just more damage. But the devious thing is his default projectile, the yin-yang that he throws out, normally it's a high. If you meter burn it, it's a mid, so you can't even duck it. So it does a lot of damage, too.
Interesting.
And then he has the air fireballs where he throws 10, like for no reason, just throws like 10 fireballs. Looks so sick, though. And it's so satisfying when you pester someone. Yeah, in a combo, but also when like you're pestering them enough to where you just mentally break them and they jump and you predict that and jump before them and just throw the fireballs out and they eat every single one. It's super satisfying to know that you made the correct guess there. What else? Oh, his dragon kick is an upgrade now. He throws the fire out first, like the dragon, then he kicks in after it, which is so sick looking. But if you spend a bar, it's just the fire and it's blue and it's really quick, which means that Liu Kang has a near instant fireball that he can recover from instantly. There's like not stuck in the animation, and it's full screen if you have a bar. So have fun in a laggy connection, just being on the lookout for that. Like, is he gonna do it? When's he gonna do the instant full screen dragon move that like launches me and I can't react to it? So he's the keep away character, but he's also good up close.
It is cool that they actually made Liu Kang's quite a few new different moves compared to the prior games, because up until now he's always been, other than occasionally, he's always kind of been like the 4 moves of doom. The flying kick, bicycle kick, fireball, low fireball.
It's gone. You're right. No bicycle kick.
He's replaced it with like a similar move.
It's in the fatal blow.
Yeah,
you're right.
He has a similar move as well, but it's not quite the same. Like, it has different properties, and the flying kick's been overhauled, and so it's cool. Is actually different now. None of the lightning moves though, so that proves that yes, he's given those moves back to Raiden.
Give him that identity too. That makes sense.
Yeah, so it's nice.
It's not a sequel, Snake. It's a new era.
Shut up! So
he brought the gun out. He's. I think he brought the gun out like 5 minutes ago or something like that.
But it is nice that they've actually given him some new stuff this time. Like, he actually feels like he's still clearly very, very much similar to how he used to be, but they've altered him enough to where it feels like he has changed as a result of becoming a god. I do wish that he would have had like something a bit more special, but I guess that's what the big fire before the flying kick is. It's just something else to convey the idea of god, other than big Dragon Ball Z fire move in his super.
And his super with the Mortal Kombat
logo.
Stepping onto you.
But he flies into the air and just like bicycle kicks the opponent into the air. Isn't that similar to how he beat Shao Kahn in Battle of the Realms?
It is, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's actually kind of true. That's true, yeah.
It's also, he stole it from Sonya in MK9.
See, you forget that, but MK's always taken a lot of stuff from the movies. It's just that they went like 20 years without another movie to draw from. But now it's like we're getting new movies like every year. There's so much material they can just say, that's cool, we're going to put that in the game. Johnny Cage's house, the way Scorpion dies, the way Liu Kang just dominates Shao Kahn, only in this case, it's Fire God Liu Kang, so it actually makes sense. So they're technically improving what the movies did. Holy shit.
Hell yeah. I honestly, despite my opinions about the Legend movies, like, I would love to see like them throw a bunch of references or skins from the Legends movies like into the game. Give us, I would love that. I honestly would.
Is Asian art
Kenshi actually does
from Snowblind?
Who? Arlene?
Asian
he better be. That's a cameo. That's a story mode exclusive cameo.
I think he was Asian, so I don't think that counts as whitewashing. But you don't want to put a colour to that because that would sound really racist. So you just call him Asian art lead.
Okay. It's only okay when you replace the gingers. Then it's okay. You can replace every single redhead character. No one. Everyone pretends not to notice.
I think that Asian art lead character is the mysterious Peter in the credits that we were wondering who was that.
Makes sense.
You know, the Peter Sento guy that Troner Dog thought was the same character.
He's also going to be the exclusive cameo character for story mode. We cracked the code.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's going to be Art Lane. Yep.
He's going to die again. Old man Kuai Liang is going to be sad.
The great Kung,
that's where he is.
The great Kung Lao's going to be relegated to a cameo.
Ooh.
Sure.
I mean, that would piss off a lot less people, so I could see that, but...
I have one last question to ask, Dog. So you ranked your tier list for the fighters. What about the cameos? Is it just in order of usefulness? Difficulty?
I think Kano, if you had to I did him on difficulty, but if you had to actually rank them, I would say Kano is the best overall, just because the daggers are so good. His Kano Ball delay is also crazy good. There's a really devious thing the Titanium Tigers did with Kenshi that I wanted to bring up, but I forgot. So it's the most menacing, mean thing to do ever. But basically, he would do a string with Kenshi, then summon Kano in like the ball form and hold him so he's tucked, right? Then he would summon the spirit, and that Kano Ball keeps him safe while he summons the spirit. Then he would purposely jump over you, and now you're sandwiched between him and the spirit attacking on both sides. And he's purposely delaying his attack, so where it's like you don't know when you can escape. And I was like, oh no, a katana sandwich. The katana sandwich.
It feels like it's like playing MK Mythologies when you get stuck between two opponents.
That's funny.
The only way it could have been better is if the character turned around, but I don't think they do. I think they always face Kenshi no matter what. But it'd be so funny if they just only turned around. And what was also really crazy that I thought, I didn't even mention it in my reaction to his matches, but there's something crazy he did too, where if you hold block, it's the opposite. If you hold block, it's going live in like 1 hour. If you hold block, you can still use the spirit, which means if you hold the direction while blocking, the spirit can still walk. And there was a point where he did that, where he kept like following the opponent when they were at full screen. He had the spirit walk after him, but he stayed at full screen.
Oh, that's so busted. That's funny.
Now you can hit the spirit is the thing. If you hit them, they take a little knee, and they can't be used for like a second or two. So it's fair, but it's just so devious that like I never thought about that. You can puppeteer him and have him move while holding block. Yeah. Also, Kenshi has one attack with the
snake.
Oh. But also, Kenshi has an attack that's a Snowblind reference, which was kind of cool, I thought.
Which one?
I'm lying. That's
you were trying to
like... There is no reference. I'm just being mean.
Damn it. I'll say my little tiny person who didn't play Stress Test but just watched like a lot of videos about it is that like I will say it is too bad that the cameo system is not like playable characters. It's not they're just going to be cameos for some of them, and that's a little bit too bad. But I will say, gameplay-wise, I am excited to see how this goes, because it does feel a lot different with the Kameo Fighters, especially for NRS games. It's like, for the past 10-ish years, we've been always having the 1v1 system. We had Tag Team in MK9, but no one used it, really. So this game is like, we're having it, we're going to try this, and I am excited about the creativity of people that are going to be doing the combos and with the Kameo Fighters and trying all that kind of stuff out. I really hope the first month or two will be the creative zone, the labbing zone, where like people really try out things, and I hope that's going to be the most fun about it. And eventually, after like the third month, it'll be like, okay, this is meta, no changing, no more creativity with this kind of stuff. I hope the creativity does like continue on very long for this though.
What I'm looking forward to also is that some of the cameos will have not direct assist abilities. So, for example, if Shao Kahn has a cameo, I want one of his cameos to be where he just insults the opponent and they get a damage nerf for like the next 5 seconds or something. Like, not always a physical attack. That would be super interesting. Maybe Chameleon, if she's a cameo, she comes in and like douses you in invisibility and then leaves. So your character's like invisible. Even if you're not playing Reptile, you can have invisibility with your character because she like gives it to you. That'd be super sick to me. You know, I want attacks that are not just literal attacks, but could like buff your damage or nerf the opponent or do some sort of, I don't know, maybe one of the, who's a character that does like illusions in Mortal Kombat?
Shang
Tsung was the first one that I thought of.
I guess just Shang
Quan
Tsung.
Chi can make a amazing artwork presentation when he was telling Scorpion that Bi-Han killed his family in MK9. It was that.
That's true.
I mean,
so okay,
Quan Chi's mind control has potential if he could like slow the opponent down or something, or hold them in place.
I was gonna make a joke that like you could flip the entire screen, like and test your luck. Like one of the cameos, like legit flips the screen vertical for both opponents. So if you're trained in that, you're fine. But for your opponent, it would like Havoc be great for that. Yeah. Or let's say like with Quan Chi. Quan Chi summons the damn stupid skull wall from Dead Deception. Quan Chi summons the stupid skull wall, and it's an actual barrier you have to jump over. Like it's a physical barrier on the stage. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
I mean, no, I've realized
it slowly fires skulls at you.
I've realized one of the reasons why Liu Kang's moves have been changed is because the mortal Liu Kang assist character is going to have the flying kick and the bicycle kick as they always were.
That is a pretty high possibility indeed. Yeah, that is.
Oh, yeah. Imagine if one of the cameos had a parry. That'd be pretty sick too. Like the cameo specifically is a parry. That'd be interesting.
You can hit the cameos. Yeah, Liu Kang has a parry in some of his games, from what I recall. Yeah.
That would be cool. A summon a parry character.
It's like, oh, he picked that. Crap. Now we have to do the 50-50, like when he's gonna shoot the parry and stuff like that.
So that's why I'm excited. And y'all already know my stance. Like, tag team would have been great, but the cool thing about Kameo, the silver lining, is we're going to get a lot of cool characters that never would have gotten to be in the game. Like, I can almost guarantee we're going to get a Su Hao cameo. He would have never came back as a full character, let's be honest. No. Even though he would have been the best, but he's probably not going to ever come back.
For sure.
Art Lean, we joke about it, but it's a possibility that Art could be a cameo. So it's just kind of cool to me to think about all the potential. Keep staring at Snake's ass in this image.
You say that, but the thing about Art Lean is he is from a different continuity, and I think it was Ed Boon who said that they're not going to have Cole Young in the game because they want that's its own continuity thing. We want to stick to this continuity. So I feel like if Art Lean made it in, there would be people legitimately saying you've put this character from the old movie in, you have no excuse not to put the guy from the new movie in, so they would have to have Cole Young.
I think DLC there would be no complaints because they love putting guest characters at DLC. So if they want to put Art Lean or Cole Young to the game, DLC.
Also,
I would like Cole Young too. I wouldn't even care if he's a cameo. It'd be fine.
Also, wasn't it recently?
I want to see what they could do.
Wasn't it recently suggested that they might actually be doing DLC guest cameos?
Well, Jean-Claude Van Damme is the only thing that they've announced officially currently. So
it makes sense.
Well, I made a whole video.
If Omni-Man really is going to be one of them, as the leaks suggest, it would make sense to have like the main character of Invincible also be there as like an assist, or like
the little bitch boy that cries all the time and keeps losing fights.
Yeah,
we talking that guy?
And then he'll be the meatbag. He'll be I'll take the hit.
Father.
Then he can stand next to you and act like. Then he can stand next to you and just act like he was part of the team. Oh god!
I kept thinking of the meme where he's like all broken and like and everyone's like lecturing him like to thank Mark. Yeah, but that's like the actual victory screen if he's your cameo. Like you're celebrating. He's like
that will be in there. That will be in the game somewhere. You just know.
Has to be in there. Come on now.
You saw how they wrote Terminator in MK11, where every line was just a pointless random Arnie reference.
Well, like you know what it's gonna be, right?
It's like so I hear Sub-Zero is now Plane Zero. My mission is complete. It's like, oh god, Jesus fuck, can you not?
Well, I know what it's gonna be. If that Omni-Man reference does show up, it's gonna be his fatal blow. Like he's gonna grab you and throw you off screen. You're gonna get pinned into a rock wall. He's gonna go fake, and then just start pummeling you.
I was thinking fatality, but yeah, that's way more likely.
Oh, the fatality.
It would be the hypest one ever as a fatal blow. It'd be so hype. Fatal blow be cool.
They like doing references for the fatality parts of the characters. That is true.
And then he gets tired of beating your ass and flies away, just like in the show. That's how the fatal blow ends. He just goes, and just flies off.
The fatality end, I think, would make more sense for that part, yeah. But yeah, lots of things we could still talk about for MK1, but I think the 2-hour mark for talking about MK1 seems to be pretty solid, in my opinion.
Quickly approaching. Yes.
So next up, we're going to talk about the movies. Would you guys like to take a small break?
Yeah,
I want to get some water. I'll be right back.
Puts my anxiety at ease too. Don't have to worry about my stuff crashing randomly if I can stop it now.
True. I gotta run to the bathroom.
True. Underdog. And that's the end of part 1. See you in 2 weeks for what we're about to record in like 10 minutes.
Yeah, cocksuckers. See you in 3 weeks. I posted a tweet.
Oh yeah. He was like, oh.
He's so pissed. Somebody had the exact same sentiment you did. Like, this ending pisses me off so much because Cabal never even fucking met Serena. I'm like, yeah, it's true.
It's just so random. What the fuck?
It's just because she's hot.
Yeah.
Like, she's just hot, so I had to include her. I have a new one that I wanted to do today, but Ed Boon retweeted. Here's a different one you'll find funny.
So that's like when you got the cameos and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
it's going to be like Kameo Fighters be like, so the joke is like, before getting punched in the nuts was bad enough, now get ready to get fucking stabbed in the face after the nut punch. Can you imagine it? It's going to be so cool to do nut punch combos with cameos.
I feel like that's a fun thing Johnny could do as like one of his assists, where like he just jumps in and like kicks him in the dick or something, and like to stun them, or if like that's his move, to when he for the throw, like when Sub-Zero like holds him in place with the ice, Johnny like hits him in the dick so they can't resist while the other character comes in and gets them.
Oh my gosh! Someone posted the katana face.
Well, I was gonna say this fits as well for my meme of like Sub-Zero like being in disbelief as his nuts have been bursted, but also knives are coming out of his face because cameos. Katana's face works just as well, but I would have to be more inappropriate. Like when you just got punched in the bean and then see 2 daggers coming. But go ahead, Snake.
Yeah, when you talk about Kano and his capabilities, I never want to hear you talk about Kano tucking and ball ever again, because it put a very bad image in my head, and I don't like it.
He delays it. He actually can delay the balls.
Yeah, but I don't want him tucking
laugh
though.
super hard too when I said that. I said like Kano's ball tuck, and they went.
Oh,
you're just casually funny, man. I was like, oh, thank you. Wasn't even trying to be a joke. He just tucks into a ball, which every Australian can do. Like NetherRealm did their research. It's a natural defense in Australia.
Totally.
Fight kangaroos.
Oh, Australians can do that.
Because that kicks you. You're in ball form, and like it nullifies the impact.
If they ever did do a Mortal Kombat versus Tekken, the ultimate rivalry is Kano versus Roger Jr.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I think the funny thing that was it you, Trinidad, who sent this? Yeah. You sent the katana face recently. It's been popping on Twitter. At first, I legit thought it was Photoshop, and it's like, oh no, she actually looks like that when she's about to get killed.
See, the sad thing about that is like that. It's amusing, but based on the name, like Queens are fighting, you can tell that person genuinely is saying, nah, MK11 katana, we stand, Queen, yas. And it's like
not only that, Snake.
The most like unflattering image for the new one. It's like it's not just saying, oh, the face is a downgrade. It's basically saying, yeah, the person whose face they're using this time is just not as attractive as the other one, and that's so mean. It's so mean to say that. It's like, don't do that.
It's mean, and also so it's not just that though, Snake. It's not just that. In my own comments section, I've already seen the cringe people from Twitter sneak their way into YouTube because someone said, I really like Katana's new design. And someone's response was, why? Because she looks less Asian now? Huh? You like that?
What the fuck?
That she's been whitewashed? And I'm like, go back to fucking Twitter, you psychopath. Get out of my face. Like, what is this?
Wow.
Cease. Breathing. Cease breathing. No, I'm kidding. Yeah,
this is not an Aftermath reference. No, I'm not being like, haha, cease before you do so. I'm saying, stop existing. You're not welcome.
But I think the funniest thing is about this picture is it's so unfair to compare like using this image because
if you're gonna use an image of Katana doing like that face, you should at least use like her like losing to Rambo. Because doesn't like Rambo like shock Katana? Like she'll have a face like that. Like that basically.
Or the face when she realizes Terminator's coming down on his motorbike. That's one of the big goofy ones. Like those are the ones you go for.
And RoboCop beating up like you in the one victory animation where it's like all the way up to the face with the RoboCop visual. Yeah, basically.
Like a fucking Resident Evil zombie.
Yep. Everybody's vinegar strokes. I think Katana looks quite good in MK1. The costume especially is an upgrade.
Costume. Yes.
And her face model looks fine. And they're really expressive now. In fact, my biggest gripe has been completely fixed from MK11. Even though MK11 they look attractive, I couldn't help but notice
every single character had a face that looked like it was in Photoshop and stretched just a bit wide. Like they're just a bit too wide to be like a human head. A lot of characters had that. And especially when you look at their face models, like the face models had like trim, slim faces, then you see in the game they're just kind of stretched a bit. MK1 fixed that problem, aside from this one image we're looking at where she's like making a face, which makes your face wider when you do that. But outside of that, it was very lean.
It's mainly just for the bit, because we have to keep the bit going. But I'll say that the new design for Kitana is superior. She's got that open toe drip. Mm-hmm. There's the obligatory feet reference to this episode. Let's move on.
Hide this. There you go.
They're very small though, and I'm not just saying that because like foot fetish. I just think like as someone who does anatomy, her feet do look suspiciously small, and it kind of like threw me off. I know some people have small feet, but like, my God, that poor lady has a tough time walking. I bet. Like she got tiny feet, just not much support. Then again, Street Fighter 6 may have ruined me and like distorted my perception of what feet look like.
Street Fighter 6 ruined you. Period.
Jory
Han
Han specifically did it, but
yeah.
I mean, technically, she's not the only one. You're not right. Let's keep going.
I know. I mean, I saw this funny image someone did where it's like Luke, like surrounded by her, Manon, and
I'm gonna post that
who's
just
the other
now.
character, and it's like then it's like there's an alt that has Manon. all the guy feet in the background. It's like okay, fine. But another thing,
Street Fighter's got, yeah.
Another thing I've noticed, it might just be for the trailer, but I've noticed that there's no letterboxing on the cutscenes in the trailer, which they've been doing since Injustice 1, because that's why the characters can look a bit compressed in my videos, because I want to have a consistent.
You actually stretch the videos when it's letterboxed.
Because I want a consistent aspect ratio, but that means that
I've never heard that term before. Interesting. Letterboxed.
Because the shots are intended to have...
That's what it means, yeah.
Yeah, because the shots are intended to have, it's a wider shot. So that means stuff would get cut off if I kept it there. So I have to crush it in a bit. That's why the characters can look a bit elongated sometimes. So that's one of the things that was a dead giveaway from when that guy stole my video. Because I do that. Who else does that? Not this guy, I'm sure. Bastard. Yeah, there's the image.
That's a whole other tangent.
Yeah. I also will extend it because I'm like you. My webcam doesn't have the bars, so I don't want my other parts to have the black bars. It's too jarring. So I just keep it consistent. But I won't even do I won't even do what you do and squeeze it in. I'll just say if it's not on screen when I do that, fuck it. It's just not on screen when I made it bigger. Fuck it.
You just make it big.
Or I'll move the panel over. I even animate it sometimes where it slides over to get them both when they're supposed to be in frame.
I did that with in the new video when I talk about Cassie and Jackie. That you can't fit both in frame as it is, so I'd pan the camera. And so sometimes you might notice that I might use the same shot. Just one time it's all the way on the left, the other time it's all the way on the right. But it's the same shot in the video twice, but you might not realise that unless you're familiar with the shots. So I'm
MK1.
So I'm curious to see if this is this just for the trailer, or have they finally accepted that this is the superior aspect ratio and they should start trying to copy movies and the inferior aspect ratios? I mean, movies don't even like that aspect ratio. That's why when you watch a Marvel movie on Disney Plus, it changes aspect ratio every 5 fucking seconds. So even movies don't like doing it. So if you want to imitate movies, the letterbox just come in and go every 5 seconds.
Yeah. Literally, when you're in really gameplay, the letterbox is removed anyways.
I've got it. Right. So, Dog was saying Dog's saying that he wants to have a character who pops in and has an effect that's not just an attack. Johnny Cage pops in. Johnny Cage pops in and says, "Action!" Letterboxes appear over all the gauges. Then you don't know what your meters are. You don't know your health. It's just Johnny popping and doing that.
Oh my gosh, the meter and health is gone.
I need that. That'd be so good.
And I just thought of this, it's not even a joke, but Quan Chi could totally do, or any sorcerer character could have a cameo where they invert the opponent's controls. Because characters have done that before in NetherRealm games.
With, what was it, Enchantress? That's what she's called?
Yeah.
No, Enchantress did it, but also even worse was freaking Zatanna. Zatanna had it as an EX, and it was ridiculously OD because she had guaranteed mix-ups too, so she would end a combo, restand you, mix your controls, block, bitch. This is ridiculous. That character was so cool though. Both Enchantress and Zatanna are chef's kiss. NetherRealm went balls out and just did whatever they wanted, and it's it shows. Like they have all these cool abilities and stuff.
Those are like my favorite videos that you made, explaining those two abilities, like explaining those two characters on your channel. That's how I kind of knew.
Yeah.
Oh, it's very funny. Yeah, very good. I love the Enchantress clip where like the teabagging killed that player. It's like, oh, that's awesome. Just seeing that.
Dame, dame, dame.
But yeah, so that was basically our MK1 discussion. I want to try to keep this all in like one episode because it's more recent topics, and I have more time to edit the whole entire thing. But so I think we should just move on to 2021 sequel news, which rumor is it's going to be called Mortal Kombat 2, or it's just called MK2 right now. We'll see what it's going to actually be called.
Wasn't the logo shown off?
Yeah, just MK2. Well, is that the logo? Because I just saw...
I'm sure they showed the logo where it's like a Roman numeral 2 with the dragon like going around it, and I feel like that's way too much effort into graphic design to not call the movie Mortal Kombat 2.
This I don't know.
Mortal Kombat 2
imagine...
logo revealed according to Screen Rant.
Oh
yeah, it's on the movie marker. Like the action, it's on that thing. That's cool.
Oh.
It is the numeral with the snake wrapping around it.
Look, I'm glad it's not called Mortal Kombat, at least. Can't we just call it something? Do we really have to go Mortal Kombat 2?
I mean, there's never been a movie called Mortal Kombat 2, so, you know.
Yeah. It's so funny because Donkey made fun of that. I love that statue, by the way. Nice.
Yes,
Video game
nice.
Donkey made a joke about that because Ed Boon was on stage and he's like, we called it Mortal Kombat 1. He's like, we called it Mortal Kombat 1 because it's a new era. And Donkey went, oh, I thought it's because you already had 2 games called Mortal Kombat. And he just shows like MK 2011 in the very first Mortal Kombat. And I was like, dude, what are, like, legitimate question. What the fuck are they going to do when the sequel comes around? Are they actually going to call it Mortal Kombat 2?
well, see, this is why they should have done this with MK11 instead, because like, if they hadn't said DCU was 8, they could have had MK9, Mortal Kombat IX, Mortal Kombat 10, then Mortal Kombat 1, then Mortal Kombat 1-2, aka Mortal Kombat 12. But they fucked it. Nice. They can't do that now. They've had their chance and they've ruined it. They should have thought of this literally a decade ago before they plan to reboot it again. They should have thought further ahead.
Sadly, Mortal Kombat vs. DC is such an important game to them that it had to be in the canon. Well, I mean, it had to be in the listing, basically.
It's canon, too. You know what? It is canon. Dominic Giancholo...
Mortal
literally it is. Dominic Giancholo said it is. He said there's a previous
Chronicles timeline.
Yeah, Chronica decided, I'm gonna bring in the DC characters in this timeline. Oh god, oh fuck, this was a mistake. I'm not doing that again.
You know what, guys? Tell me if you would have liked this or hated this, but it's kind of a missed opportunity to reveal the logo of Mortal Kombat 1 before even the actual announcement trailer. They could have revealed the logo first. Imagine they just showed the different game logos like coming into screen, and they finally show Mortal Kombat 11. And you just hear, get over here, and a spear stabs one of the ones and pulls it off screen, and then it just fades to black.
Well, I kind of like that. It's kind of cute.
As amazing as that is, I feel like that would be like if MK11 had actually given Sonya a black recolor of her default outfit, because it is literally the MKX design again. It would just highlight how lazy they are, because the logo is just the MK11 one, but they took one of the ones out. It's the same logo. It's the same font. Everything's the same. They just recolored it. I'm not.
You're not
happy.
Wrong.
You're not happy.
He's just not. He can't even right now. He can't even.
What the heck?
You know what's
did
sad?
you just break your gun? How did you get another bigger gun now?
He has.
Yeah.
The biggest gun.
What you just said about the logo thing. I do think your idea, it's a little corny, the scorpion pulling off the one, but I mean, I do think it's better than having a fucking clock countdown from 11 to skip 12 to 1 at least, in my opinion, or the grain of sand.
I'm still so happy that happened, because now I can say with confidence that my mother was one of the first people to figure out what that meant, just because she knows nothing about Mortal Kombat except that I play it a lot. And I was like, what does this mean? Why do you think it skipped from the 11 to 1? Why did it skip to 12? And I was trying to do math of like the numbers and shit, and like maybe it has a reveal date in it somewhere because it skipped from here to here. And then she went, maybe they're starting over. And I was like, fair enough.
Your parents help with that. My parents help with the Mortal Kombat T, basically, yeah. Yeah, I was about to mention more, but I think we should actually stop talking about Mortal Kombat 1. and talk about
cage match
2021. No. The 2021 news. The 2021 news. We'll get the cage match in just a bit. don't give up hope on 2021. Come on, Koyan's gonna carry this franchise.
Wait, hang on. So we've gone from talking about Mortal Kombat 1 to talking about Mortal Kombat 2.
Literally, basically, yeah.
I mean, I have some good things to say about Mortal Kombat 2. Like, I have some things that make me happy, so I can add some stuff eventually.
Okay. They currently only just basically released the cast. That's the biggest news we have about this.
New characters and old.
Yeah. It's like a lot of returning characters, a lot of dead characters returning in the cast, and a lot of new characters. I don't have many opinions about the actors except one of them, but what do you guys think about
Can you confirm real quick for me? Because this could be misinformation. Both the Kano and the Kung Lao actor are back. Is that true?
Yes, they're listed on it basically.
Yeah, so
I knew one of them was, but I wasn't sure about both.
Actor.
Yeah, so to start, Sonic, can you go through all the returning characters?
Very well. We are going to get... I'm going to just say the character names, not the actors' names. So we are going to get Ko Young, Sonya Blade, Jax, Shang Tsung, Lord Raiden, Liu Kang, Scorpion, and those are the ones that are alive that are returning. And the ones who died would be Jotasm, Sub-Zero, who on the list I'm looking on right now also says Sub-Zero / Noob Saibot. I don't know if Noob Saibot is actually going to be in the movie or like if this is just a prediction, but I see on a listing here it says Noob Saibot. And then Kano and Kung Lao. Those are the returning characters that I see on my screen currently. Maybe there's a couple more. Maybe like Ko Young's coach, Ko Young's wife and daughter. They might return. But these are the ones that we have on the list that are the returning characters. As for new characters, we have Adinian King Jared, Queen Sindel, Shao Kahn, Quan Chi, Jade, and Katana. And the big reveal, the big boy, the one that everyone's getting very hyped up for, is Carl Urban as Johnny Cage. That's the really big one that they announced recently. What the heck is this?
Yep.
See,
that's an action figure that hasn't been released yet. It looks a lot like Noob Saibot.
Yeah.
It actually looks like Sub-Zero just without color.
Yeah.
That's possible
but
too.
Because it's all black, it looks like Noob.
It even says Sub-Zero statue. Never mind, it says Sub-Zero. Fuck.
Yeah,
this is the thing, is because with Carl Urban, I'm looking at it thinking, isn't it funny how Carl Urban's going to be in the Mortal Kombat thing, and one of the supposed leaked guest characters for the new game is from a show that Carl Urban is in. So wouldn't it be funny if that they brought him in to do a Johnny Cage skin and also play that character as a cameo? So they could get him to do two things.
That would be kind of awesome. Yeah. You know who we need as an actor to come into Mortal Kombat 1? Louis Tan as a Kenshi skin. Booyah, right there.
He was so good. Yeah, I want Liu Kang, the actor, for him to come back from MK1 because he's so awesome.
You mean the 95 movie or the new one?
Yeah, 95.
Oh,
the new one's good too. The new one's really good too. I like him. He's very cute. I love his video of his mom reacting to the trailer in
That's really wholesome. It was. Yeah, indeed. Yeah, in terms of this cast, I will say like a bit of the one red flag. Not even Carl Urban. I want to see him in action before giving a judgment. I reserve my judgment until we see him in action. One big flag I have about this is I think they're not respecting the whole Melina as a Katana clone thing again. If they're casting not Sissy back as Katana and literally
unless they do my idea, there's still time. There's a chance they do my idea.
Oh, that was a long time ago. I remember that.
I know.
You could go back and watch our first podcast, like we recorded together. That Shoulder Dog had back then, and that was a very crazy idea. I'll put a link on the screen.
What idea? That one. I don't remember this one.
Do you want to get the TLDR, Shoulder Dog? Or
yeah, I'll try my best because I worded it so well before to be as unoffensive as possible. But basically, sometimes
I
Hollywood
made a highlight version
deaf.
of it too.
Yeah. Sometimes Hollywood is tone deaf, and I was worried they were going to make all the Tarkatans black as a metaphor for them being second-class citizens in Outworld, and because Melina is black, that's because she's Tarkatan. That's my fear, is they're going to make it like that. We're like, she is my sister, she's a clone, but she's half Tarkatan, which is why we look different.
Oh.
Tarkatans
and I'm really worried Hollywood would do that, and even have like an uprising scene where like the Tarkatans take back Outworld from the evil owners.
Okay,
Shao Kahn's got a whip.
I'm sure they won't. Well, no, that's Sindel with a her, but I'm sure they won't do.
That's good.
I'm sure they won't do all the Tarkatans, but I think there's a decent chance that it'll be like Baraka is black, and it was his DNA specifically that was used. So to tie that in, and it's like,
if they make Baraka black, then the Baraka Obama meme is going to be real.
I mean, we already have Black Baraka in Rebirth, and it was terrible.
Oh, you're right. Yeah. Hey, that's the
black,
only
Baraka
and
that got
then
a
when they
W,
put him in
though.
Legacy, he looked like an orc from Lord of the Rings. So, like, unironically, the most accurate Baraka is the one from Annihilation who dies in like a minute.
You mean design or? Okay, live action wise.
Generally as well. But he
Can you imagine?
He dies via stock footage. When he falls into the fire, it's rain again. It's stupid.
I love it. He's also a minion, which is accurate too. I guess like there's multiple Tarkatans. I mean, whereas to me, when I first played MK2, I always assumed that Baraka was a very unique variant of the Tarkatans. Like each of them had different stuff. I made a whole video on it. But can you imagine also, Snake, how a shame it would be if every Tarkatan is like Melina, where they have a normal face until they open their mouth and it tears up and they have like fangs, but most of the time they're just a dude.
I bet they will do that just to save on the budget.
That. I really could see that, honestly.
Too.
Yeah, isn't that the reason why? Well, maybe Melina only does that because she's half, but it could save budget.
Yeah, I've discussed it before, but actors don't like hiding their face because like they want to have like presence on screen. That's also why the actor who plays the Mandalorian keeps taking his fucking helmet off more and more in each season.
In recent seasons, though, more recent seasons.
Well, that's one of the. Well, it's funny you bring that up because do you know who didn't have that issue and was like, "I'll do an entire movie with my face covered"? Carl Urban as Judge Dredd.
That too.
Oh, I gotta watch that. I've heard.
That's why that film is goated. It's such a good movie.
Wouldn't it be amazing if Carl Urban was like, "Yeah, I'm so dedicated to the character of Johnny Cage, I will wear sunglasses for literally all my screen time in this movie."
That'd be so awesome. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh my god! Imagine he gets punched in the face and it breaks the sunglasses, and he has a smaller pair of sunglasses underneath.
The second pair.
He pulls a Johnny Bravo and he's like, "My glasses, I can't be seen without my glasses." Puts on another pair.
Yep. He puts a new one on. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, indeed. I wish the best of luck of Carl. I really hope he pulls off Johnny Cage because he has the potential. He's a great actor, but a lot of people are just saying like he's not my first or second pick basically for Johnny Cage. The character.
Ryan Reynolds was the first pick. Let's be honest. Ryan Reynolds would have been the perfect.
I think most people like either Ryan Reynolds or Chris Pratt. I don't think
he's perfect personally, just because I feel like he's a Deadpool again, and I don't want that for Johnny. I don't think Johnny is Deadpool.
Well, yeah, he'd have to be a bit more serious, like when he was in Blade Trinity, where he still made jokes, but he was also like still pretty cool.
Blade Trinity. What an interesting callback. I can't believe you remember that.
I love that movie. My family watched it a lot. We liked it.
Interesting. In terms of the other parts of the cast, bro, have you guys seen the guy who's going to play Shao Kahn? Have you guys seen that actor?
Yeah.
Holy shit, that guy is buff. They got like a big dude to play Shao Kahn. I'm very happy.
Huge.
So
look huge, bro.
So the interesting thing about this is that when they put the statue of Shao Kahn in the last film, it was just the MK11 design, like as is.
Shamelessly MK11.
Literally, they don't have time. So, in Cabal's lair.
Yeah. But like, so you look at that design, and he's got all the draconic elements and everything, and like the big helmet. That's like clearly,
was that even the draconic elements were on the statue? I didn't notice that.
I'm pretty sure.
No colors. Okay, that's funny. If that's
but it's like so all the little spikes on his arms, the massive helmet in 11. It's all very unwieldy. Like it's not very good design for a fight scene. So I have to wonder, is he going to look anything like that, or is he just going to be more like classic Shao Kahn, like with the more normal helmet?
It's going to have like a new look. New look. Actually, yeah, maybe a newer look because like a lot of these characters, like Shang Tsung, he has a different look. Kano doesn't have like the metal plate on him yet and stuff like that. Shao Kahn might be new.
I think it'd be really good if Khan just didn't have a lot of armor and he's just basically the MK2 design, and it's like he just has the cape when he's thrown, and then he takes the cape off and he's like, because like he doesn't need the armor, and it's like he's like the one guy who's just like, this is just Shao Kahn because
they literally got an actor who deserves to show like his pecs. Yeah, literally.
Unfortunately, the last live action Shao Kahn, the design was pretty shit.
Well, the thing about the last Shao Kahn is he just keeps taking his helmet off. for like 80% of the movie, and it's like, that's not Shao Kahn. Put the fucking helmet on, dude. I don't care how heavy it is.
Yeah.
I have two things I want to say real quick. So first off, damn you, Sonic! You just put an idea in my head that I bet's gonna be accurate. Kano not having his metal eye. Do you remember how he died?
He gets stabbed in the eye.
With a gnome.
So I don't think he's going to be resurrected like a Revenant. I bet he's going to have like a cybernetic part of him rebuilt to bring him back to life, and that's going to excuse the metal thing on his face. How much you want to bet?
Well, I feel like everyone.
There is a contradiction with that, though.
I thought everyone assumed that as soon as they saw. They're like, oh, well, that's how he's going to get the laser eye. The metal eye in the next film.
I think he's going to have a metal eye, but I don't think. I think he had to have died because he transferred the Arcana.
Oh, the Arcana, yeah.
Well, he died, but I'm saying they're going to bring him back with technology, not by resurrecting him with like sorcery.
Well, I don't know, because like Sub-Zero and Kung Lao are coming back. But what I mean is, when you die,
some of
maybe
them are
your
going to be
body
brought
parts,
back with sorcery for sure.
Your body parts
imagine,
get fixed, so maybe that's why they had to fix it with the metal.
Could you imagine, Snake, if they stick it to you and everyone else that made fun of Raiden letting Kung Lao die? Because what if Raiden just has a Hail Mary ability to bring back like one person, and he knew that Kung Lao was going to die, so he just brings him back? What if it's a giant middle finger to everyone that made fun of Raiden for letting him die, because he has a way to bring him back?
Well, a couple of points regarding all this. One is, I forgot what I was going to say about Kano. Fuck. It's that the thought of that. So Shang Tsung, imagine he's like, I'm going to resurrect two of my warriors. I'm going to bring back Sub-Zero, obviously makes sense, and Kano, the guy who switched sides for money and then died by getting stabbed in the face with a gnome. Not Cabal, not Reiko, not Melina, not Nitara, who I apparently have a thing with. Kano, he's the guy I'm going to bring back. Like, it would make more sense if he came back via technology.
Freaking not Reptile or even Goro. The champion of Mortal Kombat.
They used the monk technology to bring him back. The ones that built the little robot arms for Jax.
The tiny little robot. That's right. I forgot about that.
Okay, here's thought number two, though, before I forget. Here's thought number two.
Okay.
The Shao Kahn actor is tattooed up. Do you think they're going to let him keep those for the film, or do you think they're going to just CGI the tattoos away or put makeup on them or something?
Well, it depends on what the tattoos are. Because like, if it's like just generic tribal stuff, sure, it can still work.
If it's just generic, like what Dwayne Johnson has, I think it's just that generic.
So I think that could work.
I think he's going to hide it.
I mean, unless you're going to cover it with the draconic stuff, but I think it can work.
He has so many tattoos, but they're just the same as they're actually remarkably similar to Dwayne Johnson. They look like Islander tattoos.
But the other thing,
he has letters and stuff too on his ribs. They had to get rid of those. They can't have him just like random names on him.
But the other thing I was thinking of was, so if Kung Lao is coming back, do you remember what happened to Kung Lao last time? How he died?
Soul suck.
You mean the soul suck?
Yeah. So if Kung Lao is going to come back, doesn't that, so either it's going to be just in flashbacks, or he will be, as someone on my Twitter suggested when I mentioned this, perhaps he'll be like those revived warriors from the first movie, the original, where it's like bring back dead warriors, like bring back him as like a revenant almost, as an enforcer, just like with Chan, where it's just Liu Kang, can you defeat me when I'm pretending to be Kung Lao or something like that, or does it indicate that Shang Tsung will die in this film and Kung Lao will come back after his soul has been freed by Shang Tsung?
No, I think the possibility of a villain Kung Lao is possible. Yeah.
You're all wrong. Here's what's going to happen.
I'm kind of
concerned. Johnny Cage actor.
I'm just kind of concerned that this means that we're going to have the big finale where Liu Kang kills Shang Tsung, finally actually avenging Kung Lao when he says fatality for Kung Lao, and then Kung Lao comes back and says, "Yeah, well done, cousin, you brought me back." And then Liu Kang's like, "No, it's not. You're not literally cousin, guys. Can you get it right in the subtitles this time?" And then, meanwhile, over there, you just see Cole Young being like, "Yeah, eat shit, Shao Kahn. I'm beating you because I'm the hero." And then Shao Kahn dies to Cole Young.
I did see that tweet. Yeah, you were like, Liu Kang kills Shang and Shao dies to Cole. Yeah. I mean...
Hell yeah. No, Devora. Devora's going to show up and kill Shao Kahn.
He's going to come out and kill Liu Kang. He's going to kill Johnny.
Here's my theory.
Kill Johnny.
Here's my theory. How would y'all feel about this? What actually happens is Shang Tsung doesn't die, but early on in the film when Shang Tsung shows up and like fights the heroes, Johnny Cage does the famous splits nut punch, and Shang Tsung goes, "Oh!" and some of the souls get released, and one of them is Kung Lao. because he got punched in the dick so hard that he attacked the source of his sorcery.
See, that sounds like an absolutely dumb fuck piece of shit idea, but remember, what if this is when Johnny Cage discovers the green glow, and the green glow has the power to exercise souls, and that's how it works. And that's it. Then it's Johnny Cage and Liu Kang versus Shang Tsung at the end. Liu Kang can't beat Shang Tsung because he's too powerful. So Johnny comes in and starts punching the souls out of him to weaken him, so Liu Kang can come in for the finisher.
Oh my gosh, I can see that. I can literally
just
see
like
that,
pee, souls are stored in the balls.
You know what? I miss just chatting about 2021, honestly. That was a train wreck of a movie. I love it so much. Just how much...
It was exactly what I expected. I won't even call it a train wreck. It was exactly what I expected. Like, as someone who knows what Hollywood does when they adapt movies, I'm like, I know exactly what this is going to be.
What we should do is, just before the sequel comes out, we should get together and have a watch party, watch through it again. Either maybe record that or maybe just record a discussion about it afterwards, but I think that'd be a fun thing. Just get together and just like...
Be pretty smart.
Dunk on this movie again. My two main concerns with the movie are, one, obviously, Sindel's in this. After MK11,
the same age as Katana.
Oh boy!
I mean, I think it's like because they mentioned Jared, and like so that indicates that either Jared's going to have a bigger role than we might expect, or
I think it's just going to be a flashback,
or even flashback characters are getting like brought up here. So Sindel might be exclusive to that, and they'll save Sindel proper for the sequel. It's also possible that Sindel is around as Shao Kahn's bride, or she'll get resurrected during the film. Will it be mind control, or will it be evil Sindel from MK11? So that's a concern.
Control, please. I hope. I'd assume if they're going with the, I was about to say lore accurate, but then again, this is the movie, so
yeah.
She better say the line.
Talk about lore accurate Mortal Kombat stuff in the series that has Cole Young as its main character.
Here, I think there's a big ass question I should ask. Because, that was a very seductive pointing there. But, with the cast being shown like this, especially with the involvement of Adinya, Sindel and all that kind of stuff, which, funny enough, was actually cut content in the original movie, so they wanted to do this originally. Are we going to get the tournament in this new movie? We have to be able to get the tournament now, right?
I mean Shao Kahn is in it, so I feel like it has to be.
Yeah,
it'll probably be like stylistically closer to MK2, where it's like in Outworld or something. Like Khan's presiding over the MK tournament. I feel like that's probably the direction it's going to go. Otherwise, why would you even put Shao Kahn in the movie, other than like as a post-credits thing?
So here's the funny part, though. It's most likely going to have the tournament, but it's going to be so funny for a movie titled Mortal Kombat 2. To have the first tournament is going to be so funny.
That's why it should be called Mortal Kombat Tournament.
Yes, that'd be a heckin' awesome name.
But
on rival with the Fast and Furious stuff.
The other concern I have is the fact that they're bringing back like a bunch of the characters, and I'm like, they're bringing back Kano and Kung Lao and Sub-Zero. I'm basically just going to rehash what I said on Twitter because people don't follow me on Twitter So they're bringing back those three characters, Kano, Kung Lao, Sub-Zero. One, this indicates that in this version of MK, death means even less than it does in the games, because not only do these characters come back, they came back in the very next film. But at the same time, I'm not going to hold it against them, because those three characters just so happen to be the best characters from the first film, and this film will be infinitely worse without them. So bringing back Terminator Sub-Zero, holy shit, this guy's the funniest ever, Kano, and the most accurate character in the movie, Kung Lao, basically. Bring those three back, do it. But my concern as a result of that is, as well as having those characters, they're also adding Shao Kahn, Sindel, Katana, all these characters.
Johnny Cage.
And there's going to be ones we've not seen before, right? There's bound to be some other characters who show up just to die. Like, I'm sure Baraka will be in this, and then some other random pull, like, Hotaru's here, with like one line referencing Order Realm or something, or Lee May will be here, like in
Moloch will be the CGI monster this time. Moloch will be the CGI monster.
There's gonna be a bunch more characters. There's gonna be a bunch more characters we've not told us about. So I'm concerned. How big is this cast going to be? and how much screen time are any of these characters going to get?
That's true. The cast is huge.
That's always a problem fighting game movies have. Like you saw this in Annihilation, where most of the characters show up for one scene and just die. And so, like, most of them get no characterization at all. They're just there to be an enemy. In fact, they almost did that with Rain in the last film before it got cut. So I'm sure Rain will be in this film as well.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
So
it is literally a problem in Battle of the Realms too. Like
the biggest
loaded ass movie with so many characters. 20 characters in that movie too.
I'm sure we don't even know if they're going to do. We don't even know if Kuai Liang's going to show up for anything, do we? But like Johnny Cage is obviously going to get a lot of focus because that's like the first thing they said about it, and that was what they ended the last film on.
Yeah.
Yep. I depend on Shao Kahn has to have a lot of focus. Sindel, if she's not just flashbacks, she has to.
Might be a lot of focus too. Yeah.
Like Katana and presumably Liu Kang's relationship has to be a big focus. There's a lot they need to focus on, and so I'm worried that they just will be too much, and that nothing will get any focus that it really needs, and that the story will be a bloated mess.
Sounds kind of like 2021.
Yeah, but similar to Battle of the Realms, it's got the problems the previous film had, but worse. And that's the concern. So this theoretically could be a bigger clusterfuck than Battle of the Realms, and literally nobody wants that.
So my prediction will be the first 30 minutes will be getting the band together, getting Johnny together, and then the later half will be the tournament. Kind of like Battle of the Realms. Battle of the Realms only has 70 minutes. There might be more time, and the one being, there might be more time for this one to have tournament stuff and fleshing out. Yeah. There's also the Sindel stuff. Shoot. So maybe 10 or 20 minutes for Edenia stuff, and then the last 50 minutes tournament stuff. Maybe I'm trying to piece this together.
I can see the film opening on a 10-minute flashback to Edenia.
Oh, that's a good point.
And Katana's backstory, and then
they did that in 2021 too. Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, so I could see it'd be like 10 minutes for this one because it's like all the backstory with Outworld and Edenia and Katana. Then after that, probably something with Melina. I'm sure Melina will get some kind of cameo, and then
explain the threat of why Outworld invading is bad. Something like that.
Yeah, all that stuff, and then we'll be like, here's Cole going to recruit Johnny Cage in like the first scene after that stuff. Like here's the logo. Then we're with Cole going to recruit Johnny. Maybe Sonya's with him or Jax, and then Johnny's like, "Hey, Sonya, you want to go on a date?" Haha. And then like the one reference to Johnny and Sonya before the end, where she'll suddenly kiss him out of nowhere, and you're like, "This feels a bit rushed." And I feel like that's how the film's going to open. It's my prediction. My prediction.
Mm-hmm. I think an ambush by rain or something.
What about you, Dog?
If this film was like written.
You've not said much, Dog. What do you think?
I was mostly just scrolling through Twitter, laughing at all the memes, but also I was just listening.
I see you've been posting them. I've seen. Yeah, those are funny.
I basically just had a random thought. You mentioned Edenia and Katana's backstory and stuff. Just imagine if like it was written by the same person as Lord of the Rings or the same director even, and we got a brand new language for Edenians with like subtitles and everything. That'd be kind of cool, but they won't do that because Shang Tsung and everyone else was speaking English when they were in Outworld.
Yeah, plus it'd be really weird. It's like, oh, here's this special language. And then it's like, so why does everyone sound like they're from California?
Don't ask questions. Dog. Just consume product.
Dog, don't underestimate the power of predicting stuff because me and Snake, we predicted some stuff right on this Combat Kings podcast recently, and people are like, holy shit, they predicted that weeks ago. Damn. I made the joke of saying like do you know about this, Snake? Because recently it's revealed that stage where like people are saying that maybe Sindel sitting on the throne, where in the trailer it's Katana and Melina fighting each other.
Yeah.
That's confirmed to be Outworld.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah. In your recent video, you did say that was Edenia too, but they confirmed it was Outworld recently. And I made a joke saying like, imagine if that's Outworld. Anyways, and people were like, "Holy shit, Sonic! Holy shit, you're right! Holy, what the hell?"
In our defense, it looks exactly like all the ending credits in like the recent games. It looks just like Edenia, even down to like the circular architecture and the pillars and all the flowers.
Yeah. And then the other thing that was predicted right by Snake is a spoiler to Spider-Verse. Okay, spoilers for Spider-Verse were 10 seconds. Turn your volume down for 10 seconds right now. Snake, you said it's like, in the comics, it's like Miles was like evil, or something like that. It'd be cool if they do that in Spider-Verse. That'd be very cool if they do that. And people were like, "Oh, Snake, you got that right." Okay, Spider-Verse spoilers done for now. But yeah, so it's Shredder Dog. Don't underestimate your potential predicting and stuff. Fortune teller. It's your time to shine, dog.
Yeah.
You gotta bet money on it, like you always say in your videos. I bet money that this is gonna happen. You bet so much in your videos, dog.
Your meme was so good about the lightsaber, but I'm still mad you made it because you just reminded more people that I made that gamble. To be fair, though, just to be a dickhead to everyone watching, I never said that I was going to gamble the lightsaber. I said I am willing to bet that lightsaber.
Oh.
Not that I do bet the lightsaber.
Willing.
So all of you can eat a big bag of pickle-shaped, appendages. Because I did not actually officially gamble anything. I'm still a man of my word.
There you go.
Just use my.
You get to keep the lightsaber.
Just do like the female version of me and just say eat a penis.
I'm a bit mad that in that art actually they did the middle finger when they should be doing the peace sign, shouldn't they? But
that. Fun fact actually, Left 4 Dead 2's cover was changed in the UK because of that. Because Left 4 Dead 1's cover is like a hand with like the thumb torn off, so 4, haha. It's like left hand, 4, dead. And then in the second one, 2 more are gone because it's Left 4 Dead 2. But you can't. That's equivalent of that over here. So what they had the hand like that. It's just put his fingers down. That's funny. That's the UK cover.
That's funny.
These four European players getting flipped off by Mario in these games. No, I'm kidding. I know.
Do you want to know who really got it bad? It was the Germans and Australians because the game's violence was censored there. There's no dismemberment.
Australia is such an interesting land.
There's no hardcore violence. So what they did instead was they ported a bunch of Counter-Strike weapons into the game for those regions. And so I think that's in the PC version now. So sometimes you're like, why is it just like an MP5 from Counter-Strike? That's why.
I didn't know that. Interesting.
I'm just imagining, like, so is the death animation like just ragdolling zombies all over?
If you go up to a zombie and like shoot in the back with a shotgun, you can see the spine. Like it's like proper damage at the stuff, and that's not in the final version. It's way too violent.
It's so funny to me because on the one hand, like they're anti-violence when it comes to media and games, but they also just flagrantly use the word and are shocked that that's like taboo in America. Like you can't say that.
But okay, I got you.
It's kind of ironic that the country descended from literal criminals who were shipped to another country because they were so bad. They're the ones who like, you know what, this violence is a bit much. Like, really, guys? Because remember your heritage, Australia.
Anyways, we should probably
well, this would be for off topic.
Move on to the next movie, guys. You know, because unless you guys have anything else you want to say about 2021, anything else?
Do me a favor and just like mute Snake for that entire part, just as a joke. Like have him say nothing about the kind Australian people and their beautiful culture.
Yeah, we love Australia. They're the best.
We love Kano in 2021. It's not a real slight against Australia. We love Kano. He's great.
One of the most expensive places to live in the entire world, so clearly something going on there. You know,
we love women basketball.
Criminals.
I believe that's one thing that's really popular there.
It's criminals, dog. That's why. Just steal it.
Huh? Well, yeah.
But yeah, one last thing about 2021 too is I think it would be a fun little bit of cross promotion. I'm sure they won't just because the timelines for the two don't line up. But wouldn't it be funny if there's a bit where Carl Urban is just hanging out with Joel McHale, and then over in the Johnny Cage movie Cage Match, which we're about to discuss, if in that film we have Carl Urban playing some guy that Johnny's hanging out with.
That's kind of funny, indeed. That would be kind of cute.
So,
but yeah, that's a great transition to
Cage Match. The new movie that I made a video about, and I was like, haha, yes, this is a thing that's happening. I can predict all this stuff, and I'm probably going to be right about at least one thing, so, you know.
Yeah.
I would like to first off say, by the time we are recording this, there is no trailer yet. Because I thought there was going to be a trailer dropping with this news immediately. Because Battle of the Realms and I think Snowblind had a trailer around this time. So I have to assume that that's coming out pretty soon now, the Cage Match trailer. I'm expecting another October, early October, late September release for this movie, so I think we can expect the trailer very soon. But for now, we only have the cast members and a synopsis. We actually got a synopsis of the story this time, so we can actually talk about it, and also just the cover picture that we don't really care about. I guess we can talk a little about the cover image, but yeah. First off, I would like to say I have noticed a very impressive talent with the Force Snake that I've noticed before, but I really noticed it with your recent video, Snake. You are so good at telling and just calling out voice actors and what they've done previously. You're just like, oh yeah, that guy, he wasn't doing that. Oh, that Mortal Kombat actor here, Mortal Kombat actor here, and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, you say that, but that video did give me some fuel for the next time. I'm like, the times the Force Snake got things wrong, because I said Grey Griffin plays Raven in Teen Titans Go. It is Tara Strong, not Grey Griffin. She plays a different character. I don't even know what character that is. But in my defense, those two do sound somewhat similar, and Tara Strong is also associated with NetherRealm as Harley Quinn, Lee May, and Thera. So
interesting.
If you have a problem, you can eat my asshole.
Well, I mean, you did get it.
I never even noticed until now that she was Farah. That's awesome. Can I just say?
Well, that's the thing.
We're still talking about cast, aren't we?
That's the thing is you may notice that every NPC in the NetherRealm games have voice actors who are already in the game.
Oh, okay.
And MKX,
but then
makes
generally,
sense. I mean, you wouldn't hire someone just for a background.
And then when those characters come back in the next game, they get a new actor. So Devora's actress was also Frost and Sindel in MKX. In 11, they were on the roster, so they got new actors. And then they had Steve Bloom as Borai Cho because he was Sub-Zero and Reptile. The exception is Tanya, because Jennifer Hale wasn't in the game otherwise, but I think that's just planned because she was in Pack 1, so they're probably planning that ahead of time. But other than that, that's how it tends to go. So Thera is Lee May, then we had like Garrus as Sector. Garrus was Cyrax. Garrus was Sector, Cyrax was Shao Kahn. Shao Kahn was Cyrax, that was it.
You see how impressive he is? He's not even looking at anything, and he just come up with this on the fly. I'm very impressed with this, honestly. I don't normally remember voice actor trivia that.
I started a show about it, Copycast. I've got a few episodes out already. I'm going to be doing one I'm going to do one that's all the MK shared roles once the game and the movie out, so I can bring that up, because otherwise I wouldn't have an example of Kelly who plays Devora playing Ashra, and I need that. So
and
those videos are very informative. I recommend them. I even was like eating popcorn while doing it, and I'm just gonna say this: like next day after listening, penis got bigger. So just benefits all around. It's a good video.
Totally awesome.
Yeah.
You know what's funny,
like
Shorter
Moist
Dog?
Critical always says, put a few inches on your penis.
You know the funny thing is, Shorter Dog, you said the exact same thing when we made our first collab video too. You said watching this video would increase your sex drive and give you more money and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I recently went back and watched it. The thing I want to mention that Snake pointed out in his video, which I think is great, is this movie, Cage Match, has a lot of returning voice actors, whether it be from the game or the games or the previous Legend movies. It's just like we're gonna have the Raiden and Shinnok voice actors return from the previous Legend movies, and then we're gonna have like Matthew, who did Liu Kang in the MK11 and MK1, coming back as someone in this movie, and all of these characters. So it's a big reunion, but they're all playing. Most of them are playing just different characters in this movie, which I think is very interesting.
And also just looking at the characters, there's a few fun references like Chuck Golden. Chuck is Johnny Cage's agent from the MK1 prequel comic. So that seems to be what they're going for there. Master Boyd is the guy Shang Tsung poses as in the original movie, not 2021. So that's like presumably going to be like a flashback, like Johnny Cage learning martial arts.
In my opinion, I think that's awesome. Because everyone's saying like, "Yo, we want Art Lee. We want all these kind of characters," and we're actually getting Master Boyd coming back and he's just he's a character who has one scene in the '95 movie that barely anybody remember. But yeah, I think that's like a great cameo like that, basically.
And then we have it's kind of unexpected characters in general. Like who thought there was going to be a Johnny Cage movie and thought, okay, so who's it going to be? Oh, we're going to get Shinnok, Kia, and Jataka, and Ashura.
Yeah.
Like not even Serena. So I think Yanni is quite kind of upset right now. But Ashura is basically taking her place unless they fucked up and they called in Serena Ashura by mistake.
I saw this theory and I was like, they cannot. But they did get Melina wrong in the cat. They're like, Melina's gonna be in this movie. And it's like, nope, it was Lee May.
Do you know what's also going to happen, everybody? She's not going to have any speaking lines. But do you know who's also going to show up and continue her trend of just showing up in the movies? Natara. Yeah, Natara's going to be somewhere. She'll be in the background. She could even be a cosplayer just getting into costume. And maybe she just has like the outfit that has the wings like offset.
Natara does have an established connection with Johnny Cage in these movies.
That's right. That's funny.
Even though this is evidently a different continuity, because the premise for this one is that
let's get into that later, but we're going to talk about the characters first. Let's get into the continuity discussion later.
Yeah. So I mean, the basic premise is that Johnny Cage is trying to save this actress, a real actress playing herself, Jennifer Grey, who seems to be abducted by, I guess, the Brotherhood of Shadow, and Johnny's going to go kick their asses and save her. And that's the basic premise. And it's set in the 1980s because 80s nostalgia is still not dead yet. Like it kind of fucks me off that we're having a Mortal Kombat 80s nostalgia thing when Mortal Kombat didn't exist until the 90s.
Okay,
well,
so
I
can explain a bit about that, but yeah.
Where's my 90s nostalgia movie, you sons of bitches? When are we going to get a movie where Johnny Cage is attacked by some Black Dragon thug or something in a shop and Johnny Cage is like, eat pogs?
Yeah.
And he throws pogs at people.
Also, at the end, when Johnny Cage is like, all right, this is my movie, bring him out, and the Backstreet Boys just come out, you know, because 90s Backstreet's back. All right.
Well, no, we're going to get 80s music in this movie, obviously. We're going to get...
like, comes out to, they have a Mortal
Beastie
Kombat
Boys.
fight, the two boy bands kill each other.
Beastie Boys again.
No, Beastie Boys aren't allowed.
Corn.
Too much Beastie Boys recently.
Okay, Corn. Can we talk about Johnny Cage's new look? Like his design.
Art style, basically.
I've never seen a man more yassified. He's pretty in this movie. He even has earrings. The boy is pretty.
The design is like one to one the one from the first Legends film.
Yeah,
but it's just that they're going for the different art style. It's not quite what they had.
Unless his hair is actually up like that the entire film, and it's not just the wind.
It's not
that'd
quite
be funny.
It's not quite the art style of Snowblind, I don't think. I feel like this one does more with the shadows
I think they
than
changed
Snowblind.
the art style again, actually.
Snowblind had a somewhat flat look, I would say. But I guess that's how they can get these out so fast, is if you change animation studio every year, you can get them out annually.
But it's made by the same people, still. So, I know, okay, I am the Jeremy Adams stan. I've listened to hours of interviews of him, so... I know, like they stated before, this is WB's decision. They're like, change the art style. In fact, don't have any connections with the other previous films. Do all that. That's why Snowblind was made, because WB specifically wanted that, and the art style. So I have to assume that this movie also is another reason why they're changing the art style again. Well, at least we got to see it in motion, but it does look like another different art style. It's because WB was like, change it again.
See, if I was in charge of this, I'm like, okay, so it's going to be 80s nostalgia thing, and it's like we have to get a new art style. I would rip off He-Man. Make everyone massive and buff. Make it look like JoJo Part 3, right? Basically, it's He-Man. Everyone's like super bulky, and Johnny Cage is just like, when Johnny Cage punches someone in the dick, you want it to feel like he has enough power in his muscles that when he hits you in the dick, your head will come off like an MKX. That's what I want to do.
You just know there's going to be an X-ray too. They're going to show the pelvis breaking or something when Johnny Cage does a nut punch. There's going to be an X-ray.
And then he's going to say something. The camera will zoom in on his face. He'll say something really fucking cringe.
Oh well, why did you post this, Jonah Dog?
I just think it's funny to see Kenji just sat in the background. But yeah, the art style's different too. I just love moping Kenji in the background, all fucked up.
So yeah, a very, very simple TLDR is like, because Snake made a great video already talking about this, but essentially he went over the debate of whether or not this is going to be a prequel or a different continuity, and then later on, you proposed such a good evidence to say that this is a different continuity with the smartphone, because I was like, oh, that makes complete sense now, because in Scorpion's Revenge, because the idea is like, oh, maybe Johnny Cage went on this adventure before meeting like, you know, Liu Kang, Sonya, and stuff like that. But it's like, okay, this movie is set in the 80s. I think he even specified 1984, and so it's like, but in the Scorpion's Revenge, he has a smartphone, and smartphones were more popularized around the 2010s. So how old is Johnny? In Scorpion's Revenge?
Either Johnny is really, really old. The technology is just more advanced. We have cyborgs, so it could be that in this setting, smartphones just exist much earlier, which would clash with the 80s throwback aesthetic style. Or it's just a separate continuity that just happens to be using the same design, which I think is really lame. Like, if it is a separate continuity, give Johnny a different outfit. Just give him a different look.
Yeah.
That's not just this one again.
He might change it eventually, though. Maybe this is just one image we're seeing, because I think it's because, like, the synopsis, it's like half the movie will be in the Earth realm, and the other half will be in another realm. I think that's what they're going with. So we gotta establish why we get to point A to point B. So maybe he will change his outfit eventually. I am the firm believer on the continuity difference, because like there are so many interviews where you would get like Rick Morales, the producers of the previous films, who directed Snowblind, and also Jeremy Adams, the writer, or just like, oh yeah, Snowblind is basically an open canvas for telling us, because of Chronicles Hourglass, we can do multiverse shenanigans, we can do different stories. It doesn't always have to be about the tournament now. We can just do whatever we want. Like, they've stated that so many times in interviews and stuff like that. So I'm just like, yeah, I'm believing that now we're just gonna have different like continuity movies from here on out, basically. So that's why I'm a firm believer of this movie not taking place in previous movies. Oh, and just to be clear, by the way, because the writer did confirm this, that someone asked, is this a sequel to Snowblind? And he just said no. So we can get out of the way, basically. So this is not a sequel of Snowblind.
So I reckon that eventually we're going to get to the point where, but for the last Legends movie is going to be, this is like Liu Kang from the first films is now Fire God Liu Kang, and due to certain plot things, he's going to gather the champions of the other timeline. So it'll be Cage Match Johnny Cage, Snowblind Kenshi, and he's going to bring them together. There'll be like an assortment of villains. So it'll be like play Shinnok from this film, King Kano, because people want to see King Kano probably.
Oh.
And it's going to be like all the legends, all legends represented through this conflict between Fire God Liu Kang's heroes and someone's villainous faction, whoever it could be, maybe even a brand new villain, who knows. And then there's going to be this big final battle where everyone's just going to fight, and just a lot of people are going to die. And then probably some of the heroes died, and Liu Kang's like, I'm going to bring everyone back, and the bad guys stay dead, and that'll be the end of the Legends films, a big celebration of it, because multiverse stories are on the rise now, and I'm sure if WB has that much influence on these films, they'll probably say, do a multiverse. Which could even be why they're doing this in the first place, saying, do a completely disconnected film, then they can say, now you got all these like 5 different disconnected films, different continuities, put them together.
You know, I hate that you're very possibly right, because even in some interviews, it's like, as I stated, like they're being like, okay, different continuities, but then they're like, well, Rick and I, we've had some, like, he knows how this is all connected, like they're connected in some way, but we're not gonna say how, because we don't want to get into too much trouble. We're not gonna say how. And literally, your suggestion is the end game of what I'm thinking of what could happen with these films, which is like, whatever. Please do it 10 or 20 years later, not now. if you want to do that. But yeah, on the topic of like cage match,
alternatively, sorry, it's just another.
No problem.
It could be part of that as well, or as a separate thing. MK Legends, and it's like bring back the characters from the 95 movie and its sequel and all that continuity. Bring in characters from Defenders of the Realm.
Defenders of the Realm, I think, would make more sense because that's animated, yeah.
But both. Then 2021 continuity is like, so all these backgrounds, just like, like in Spider-Verse, where it's like, there's all these different Spider-Man cameos. And it's like, in the background, it's just like, there's Defenders of the Realm Liu Kang and Kitana. And Defenders of the Realm Kitana has boobs now. She actually has them. Hooray. I clapped when I saw it. And then there's just like just Karatagawa Shang Tsung. He doesn't speak, but he's clearly Karatagawa with the coat and everything, and he's there in the background just staring down like Robin Shu Liu Kang.
Something like that. Yeah,
it's probably going to happen.
So one thing that I'm like, because a lot when we were doing our predictions of what Cage Match's plot is going to be, I think we were all not expecting this synopsis basically.
No.
Because again, Jeremy Adam Stan here, in interviews, he mentioned so many times it's like, I cannot believe that WB is letting me do this, because this whole idea was just like his idea that he constantly has been like, hey guys, what about a Johnny Cage movie? Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Wouldn't that be interesting? It's like, no, we don't really want to do that. Okay, fine. He had 6 script ideas, and one of them was Snowblind. And so they were like, let's do that one. And he's like, okay, but I mean, we have this Johnny Cage one here, basically, and 4 other ones that we don't know about, but we have this Johnny Cage one that we could always do. Eventually, the higher-ups keep hearing about it, and they're like, fine, we'll give you this Johnny Cage movie. And so this movie is literally like his dream come true, like movie that he really wants to do, and like he has been pushing to like wanting to be coming out. And the idea of it was that we kept predicting was, oh, this is gonna be a parody movie, right? Because he kept saying that this is the most ridiculous idea that they allowed him to do. So it seems like it could be like a really comedy, fourth wall breaking Deadpool style Johnny Cage movie, or like the Four Snakes mentioned, it could be like a Johnny Cage documentary movie where like someone's filming Johnny Cage do crazy shenanigans and stuff like that.
Or Johnny Cage's Mortal Kombat movie, as we often see reference to.
But it turns out the crazy thing that Jeremy Adams thought, I can't believe they're letting me do this, was not all of that. It was the fact that he got to write a Shane Black Los Angeles 1984's Christmas style movie. That's what he says on Twitter, basically. That's the crazy thing about it, is that he gets to do this 80s style movie. So that's the thing that really like got me being like, that's the interesting, crazy part of this movie, is the 80s style of it.
I wonder if like the celebrity cameo is also part of it, because like you have an actress playing herself, and you have Gilbert Gottfried is in this, and he died like 2 years ago. So
that has to mean that this movie was like made like a long time already, basically years ago.
Yeah.
I think the synopsis, the fact that like they pulled mythology's lore to do, is very interesting. It's like for a Johnny Cage movie, it's like, okay, what are we gonna do? We're gonna go fight Outworld. Are we gonna like do Black Dragon stuff? You're going to NetherRealm with like Jataka, and maybe Astra will help you out and stuff like that. Like, like that again. Like, because of Snowblind, they really know how to pull some of these more obscure lore things that not a lot of people would know about and try to make a movie out of them, which I'm all for. Like, I want to see more of these obscure ideas done. Like I've stated before, like I like these ideas that people don't think about too much. Friggin' No Face brought back and stuff like that. Like that's cool.
Yeah.
Like I love seeing that kind of stuff.
No Face.
I have to assume Serena's got to be in this movie, right? I mean, like,
how can you?
How can you have Jataka? But
like,
why? She's way
Serena's
more popular.
She's the one people know. She's the one who's been playable. She's the one who's in the NetherRealm era.
Right.
Like she's easily the most substantial of the three. It'd be really weird not to include her.
Yeah, and she's the one with more lore and mythology. Like she falls in love with Bihan and like mythologies and stuff like that.
And you can't even say that maybe they're saving it for like a Bihan movie, like she'll appear there, because it's like seems like the direction they go in is that every film's going to be its own standalone thing. So in that case, there's no reason why you couldn't just have 2 different versions of Serena. You could just have her in 2 different films. I mean, if this is evidently not the Johnny Cage from the other films, same with it's not the Shinnok, even though the same actors, same designs, evidently it's not them. So you can just have multiple versions of the characters across different continuities. So there's no reason not to do that. So you have to imagine that Serena must be in the film. Plus, also looking at this cast list, it's like, could you imagine if the film was just the only fatalities we see? Because there's been a lot of fatalities in these films. Imagine if the only ones we see are on Kia, Jataka, Shinnok, and maybe Ashra. Like, that's not much. So there are going to be other characters in the film. Like, Scorpion has to be crowbarred in somewhere.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even think about Scorpion.
I mean
That's right.
what would be wild would be if it turned out that the NetherRealm was like beyond space and time, and like the NetherRealm is just where souls from all realities go, and so we just get Snowblind, Scorpion, and Sub-Zero just showing up.
That'd be insane. That'd be really insane.
Or because it's not a sequel to snowblind. Maybe Scorpion will be there waiting for Sub-Zero to summon him. He'd be like, "Oh hey Cage, I'm just waiting for Sub-Zero." And Johnny Cage's like, "Who?" And he's like, "Oh, you not met him. You not met him yet? Okay." And that'll be that.
Now that you mention it, the fact that like Ashura is involved and like the NetherRealm's likely involved does definitely imply that they could have Serena and Bihan, because like they already hinted that Bihan's going. No, that's Kuo Yang, isn't it? Never mind, that's Kuo Yang going to hell.
And Snowblind.
But Bihan could already be down there though.
But keep in mind, this isn't a sequel to Snowblind. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to connect universes. So.
What you're probably going to actually get, Snake, is Serena's going to be in the background somewhere and not say a word, like Natara. Just gonna be there
again. It's a weird thought that she would be the one they would do that with. Like,
she's gonna be in the background with Cabal and kids.
Just what do you call? Oh, that's funny. I have to. Okay, I gotta mention
this
one thing.
Is it really funny, Sonic? Is it actually funny, or is it just sad?
Have kids with Shinnok.
I think it's funny. I do think it's funny. Serena and Cabal being a thing because of that MK11 like ending. Like,
well, will it be like bearded daddy Cabal, or will it be like fat man snowblind Cabal?
He was fat.
I don't know. Well,
he had a big outfit
and Snowblind a little bit, I guess. He's a little bit wide. We'll say the word wide. You know, Kuo Yang was wide in that movie too.
He looks like that meme where I think it's Putin or Trump walking and like they stretch
Putin.
It out with that the funny music. Yeah,
he's
Cabal is that. Cabal is what happens when you take that meme and play it at double speed. That's Cabal in that film.
Double speed. The what was it? I was on about something. Oh yeah, I wanted to say something really funny. When the announcement came out about Cage Match, I literally saw some people tweeting, like editing like Jade to look like Jataka and being like, "Guys, it's Jataka's time to shine. Jataka's gonna be in another studio games. Stan Jataka, guys. Jataka, our new queen. Profile change to Jataka." And I'm like, where the fuck were you for the past 20 years? Huh?
Yeah.
Why now? Huh? Like all of a sudden, I don't know Jataka stands existed. What the frick is this? What? Jataka. It's super funny in my opinion.
Like Jataka will be lucky if she gets 5 lines of dialogue before she dies horribly.
Yeah, honestly. But I mean, is Jataka?
Let's see here. Oh, okay. So Jataka is who I thought it was. Okay, it's the Serena sister.
Yeah, the black
sisters,
lady.
Basically.
Yeah, she's the black one.
The one who looks like Ahsoka.
Kia is the one played by MK3 Sonya, and they have Serena, who is MK3 Sindel.
Nice.
But it is interesting how Quan Chi's minions are here, but Quan Chi is not apparently.
Just Shinnok.
Which
Shinnok and his hoes.
That's the thing. That's the thing. Is like this film would have made. Well, I say it would have made more sense, but it would have made sense if they'd done a film like this with this premise, where it's set after Battle of the Realms, and it's basically Johnny going to the Netherrealm for cleanup after Shinnok's forces have been decimated. And it's like, these guys are trying to bring back Shinnok. I'm going to go kick their asses.
It kind of makes sense, yeah, for a third movie idea. But the thing is, there are a lot of original characters in this movie too, as we see in the cast listing. A lot of names we don't get. I think they're gonna play. They're gonna be Johnny's buddies in this movie. We're thinking Ashura and Johnny, but I think there's gonna be multiple characters being Johnny's new buddies in this movie. I think that's probably why, because they want to go for like a much more original movie idea and stuff.
Yeah. I'm just gonna be honest. Like when I first saw the cast, it really threw me off. Not just like who they're including, but who they're not including and stuff. I'm like, what an interesting choice of characters. So
no Sonya,
weird.
no Liu Kang.
The Jennifer Grey reference is fine for the period, but like unless you're a boomer, you're not gonna know who that is. Like how many kids know Dirty Dancing? Like,
it
really is. If kids know about Dirty Dancing,
who's next? Kevin Bacon for a Footloose reference? Sorry, go ahead.
Like if people know Dirty Dancing, it'll be because they know that Peter Quill references Footloose, and they'll think that's the film he's talking about. That's why people think Dirty Dancing is. Like, that's it. Like, it's such an odd choice. Like, you could have picked so many better choices. Like, how about an action film whose franchise is still going? Like, what if it was Linda Hamilton?
I'll be right back, boys. You keep talking. I gotta make a change real quick. Something came to my attention, but I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
All right, no problem. We won't talk too much about Cage Match then, I suppose.
Well, You mentioned this in your video on Battle of the Realms. Actually, the fact that they basically rehashed Johnny's whole thing about, well, Johnny's a joke. He's he's a loser. He can't fight. Oh, Johnny Cage can fight. They basically rehashed that in the second film. This is a fresh continuity. What are the chances they're going to rehash it again?
Well, the thing is, though, is Johnny Cage is going on this adventure, right? He's going to try to save Jennifer in the synopsis. So I would assume maybe they're gonna be like, they'll just have him have a fight scene for the first 5 minutes, and then it turn out I'll be acting and stuff like that. But I mean, that establishes we know he can fight. Maybe that's how they'll start it off. I'm not too sure. But
that's things like, on the one hand, you can look at it and go, well, he's the main character, so of course he's gonna be this cool badass. But at the same time, it's like, remember one of Johnny Cage's kind of initial inspirations is Jack Burton from Big Trouble in Little China. That was one of the big influences on MK1, like where he's like the sidekick character. Well, he's the protagonist, but he's really the sidekick to the little Asian guy who's running around doing stuff.
Yeah. That's the thing about that movie. But I've never heard about that. I always thought Johnny was like a Jean-Claude reference. I know Little Big Chinatown was reference a lot of Mortal Kombat. I do know
that film clearly had a lot of influence on MK, like with Raiden and Shang Tsung and whatnot. Which is one of the reasons why I feel like
Big Trouble in Little China.
The guy who played David Lopan should play Shang Tsung somewhere, because he'd be a great old man Shang Tsung.
Yeah, I would love to see him. Yeah, he's great. He's still acting recently, so I totally.
You can still have a protagonist who is a complete goofy loser fuck face, like he trips on his balls and falls over. So like
that's funny to come back to, isn't it?
So Johnny could still be a complete fuck up who at the end it's like, oh yeah, he can absolutely fight for the third time, and I'm just worried that they are going to do that again.
He looks pretty badass in the preview image. He's on the car, or he's like the wind blowing.
Well,
cool.
He's on a car with the wind blowing behind him, and like a nice Hotline Miami sunset. What's the bet in that's the opening sequence, and then it's like, he's like, you're doing all this badass stuff, then it's like cut.
Yeah,
this is the movie
I think that's very possible.
Oh, who do you think's going to be on the cover and barely be in the film this time?
That'd be Jataka. No.
Oh, that's fair.
I think. I wonder. Okay, wait. Scorpion. Okay. After Battle of the Realms, they started putting a lot more characters on their covers. So as much as I would love to just say, just put Johnny in the cover and you're done, good enough. We don't need anyone else. There's a very big possibility that they're going to add some more characters. So
I'm sure there'll be a big Shinnok head, and then depending on the roles, if Raiden is a mentor for Johnny, or if he's just like occasionally observing him, occasionally being like, oh hey, I saw them run down there, and it's like, oh shit, that was Raiden. I feel like probably more likely to be Ashra, I think, on the cover. Plus Jennifer Grey, of course. Like Jennifer Grey's going to be on there.
Imagine they do a Borderlands style trailer where it's like this person as so-and-so, and then it's like Jennifer Grey as herself, and then it cuts to Shinnok, and it's like Shinnok as a head, and he's just the head. That's like a joke in the trailer. Because apparently in this realm, this time Jataka rules over the Nether Realm, but she's like, yeah, we found out that we have to keep the head around, so like he can still talk, and he's kind of a dick sometimes, but like I'm actually the ruler of the Nether Realm. Here's my cousin Ashura. Hey sis.
What a giant lore change.
What if that actually is part of the plot, that like Shinnok, they're trying to resurrect Shinnok, and like Jennifer Grey has some kind of like Mortal Kombat Earthrealm bloodline that she's a part of, and they need her blood to restore Shinnok from decapitation.
That's true. Oh my god.
Why has she been taken? So will that tie into Mortal Kombat lore? And it's like, she has the weird Mediterranean bloodline in this thing, and Johnny has to save her, and then like they need her blood to restore Shinnok, and that's why Ki and Jataka are here.
Also equally likely, imagine that like Ashura or Jataka, whoever's trying to revive Shinnok, tells one of the minions, steal one of Hollywood's most popular actors, and they're going for Johnny Cage, but they just see like Jennifer Grey as like the more popular actress, so they just kidnap her, like and they just take her, and he's like, no, Jennifer Grey. That could be totally what happens. Like you said, kidnap the popular Hollywood actor.
Yeah, I mean, rules are out the window because it's an 80s inspired movie. So what's a good 80s inspired like plot synopsis or where we can go, and saving the damsel in distress in this case, I guess, in that aspect. But yeah, like why would she get taken?
Like, again, like Big Trouble in Little China reference. Like, I think like Big Trouble in Little China. It's like you have the ladies who were abducted for that weird ritual thing.
Oh my gosh, that's right.
What if Ki and Jitaka are the storms? Ashra is like the I'm not sure the Asian dude's name who's like running around like he's the real hero of the story. When Johnny Cage, while Johnny Cage is there, like debris falling on his head, tripping over his balls. Chuck's just like there as a supporting character, like hey Johnny, go, don't die now, Johnny. You, and then you have Shinnok who's just there as like Lopan.
That would be so funny because like I had imagined that they can't, because Big Trouble in Little Chinatown was such a huge risk with that because they had freaking Kurt Russell being the fumbling guy in the like 90% of the whole entire movie. He's literally the guy who's like just fumbling around, oopsie doopsie, messing around and stuff like that, which is literally the charm of that movie. But back then people hated that. It's like, they're making fun of Kurt Russell. What the hell? It's like, I don't think they're daring enough to make that risk for Johnny a third time. Well, I mean, like, as much. I'm sure he'll fumble around, but like for the whole movie though, like I don't really know about that. But
what if during the finale it's like Johnny's on the ropes, he's like, oh no, I don't know if I can save Jennifer Grey from Shinnok. Shinnok's beaten me, and then suddenly one of his old Hollywood buddies, perhaps his mentor, jumps in to save him, and it's like Jean-Claude Van Damme as himself. Because they're already getting him in for the game. He comes in and he's like says something in his accent, and it's like, oh god, it's Jean-Claude Van Damme, like JC and JC back together again. And then maybe Jean-Claude Van Damme would be like, yeah, sure, have my character die immediately. Like his head gets ripped off immediately. Like, no, Jean-Claude Van Damme.
You're too expensive.
No, we couldn't afford him for more than one line.
And the camera pans over. It's like, what? Why are you freaking out? That's just my stunt double. I
don't think he's Russian, but
I was trying to do I can do the splits, no problem.
He's not Tommy Wiseau, dog. What the fuck?
That's how he talks in that movie.
I did not hit her. I did not split her. It's not true.
He says it's in that yoga scene when he's showing the yoga girls how to do the splits. It's iconic.
So I think I want to end
when Johnny Cage does the splits, he has like a chance of landing on his own balls. Sorry, continue.
I bet he will. Just to continue the running gag, he's gonna. We'll see it in his youth when Master Boyd's training him. He'll do it. And he'll be like, oh, my balls. And Master Boyd's like, you're gonna have to work on that, Johnny. You don't want to keep hurting your balls over and over again. That would be embarrassing and
that'd be the arc. That'd be the arc of the
frustrating
movie.
And repetitive. You don't want that. Yeah, that'll be able like he can't do the splits without hurting his balls. And at the end, it's like. Or he's scared. He's scared of hurting his balls. He can't stretch his legs enough. And at the end, he'll just do it and like punch Shinnok in the dick. And Shinnok's like, "Oh, my balls! How could you do this to me? You feculent scum!" And then Jennifer Grey, and Johnny's helping Jennifer Grey. And he's there like, "Man, that hurt." Like that's the line because that's what Johnny said after he punches Goro in the dick in 95 movie. So that's a reference. And it's like, I'm a dick. I hurt myself. And she's like, "That's so brave, Johnny Cage." If I were an original character, I would say it's hot, but I'm an actress. So we have to respect the actress and not have her say something that brain dead and stupid. But let's get out of here. And then they get out of there, and then Shinnok comes after him like, you punched me in the dick, Johnny Cage, I will have my revenge. And then Jean-Claude Van Damme comes in and he punches him in the dick, and he's like, why does this keep happening to me? And Jean-Claude Van Damme says something in his accent, and then Johnny Cage is like, yeah, you show him, JC. And Jean-Claude's like, no, Johnny Cage, you are the real JC. You inherit the title of JC from me. And he's like, oh. And I think I just made a better movie than the actual film's going to be.
He has to end the movie by saying, "Yeah, you just got caged." Dead title. The credits roll basically right there.
No, it'll be that's all, folks. But like he pops out and goes, "You got caged."
Oh wait, guys! They're 99.1000% going to do another Looney Tunes style intro related to the characters. I guarantee you that because They didn't do it for Snowblind. In interviews, they were like, "Oh, Snowblind is a much more different tonally movie. We want to be more serious in this movie." So it's like, yeah, then you're gonna do it in a cage match. Like,
I know exactly. I know exactly what it'll be. Johnny will come out of the logo and say something stupid, and then all of a sudden, from the bottom of the screen, whack right in his dick is Bugs Bunny coming out of a hole. I knew I took I knew I should have taken that left turn in Albuquerque, and then he goes back down. And Johnny's like, oh, and then maybe Elmer Fudd pops out of it going, where's that webbing? Like, he hits him in the dick as well by accident, and Johnny's like, why?
Like with his gun, he turns and hits him in the balls again. Like, just look with his gun, like, where is he? Where is he? Oh!
I honestly
both got hit.
Snake, you got so many like predictions here. I am looking forward to seeing which one's gonna be right here. It's gonna
make a bingo
which one
chart.
is gonna age well.
The Sucks
video
bingo
chart of just his predictions.
You can have a thing where it's like, here's the Sucks video, and it's like, here's a thing, and it's like, well, here's what Snake predicted in regards to this, and it shows that, and it's like, did he get it right? Yes or no? And then by the end of it, it's like, at the end, it's like, oh, most of the stuff I predicted didn't happen, but then you have like a clip of me just going like, like as if it like that's my reaction to it.
Out of context, Snake. I want to end off.
I have a question.
There you go.
No, so wait. Earlier, when Snake said out of context, like I finally got what he meant, but he said trips on his own balls. I was picturing so many different things. First, I thought, wow, that guy's endowed if he can trip on his own balls. But now I'm thinking, they don't have the balls to do this,
the balls.
But imagine if Johnny Cage does hit somebody, whether it's like a main character or a minion, so hard that like their nuts do explode and come off. And then, like, during a climactic moment, like, Shinnok's going to land a killing blow on somebody, and he just slips on the testicles and goes, oh, shit! And, like,
oh, my gosh.
I'm on the balls.
I'm so glad you said when they get...
And they're, like, completely censored balls. Like, they're just, like mosaic or, like, just a black bar there.
Yeah.
And he just slips off, like, the blurred thing or whatever it is.
I'm so glad you said come...
corrupted Shinnok form.
I'm so glad you said comes off and didn't just stop at comes. Like Johnny Cage hits someone in the balls and they come. Like, what? It's not that kind of movie, dog. Stop.
It's a different technique. Okay, it's a different strike.
I think we're getting into like the drunk phase of the stream where we're basically just like, wouldn't
I
it be funny
actual question. It's a pretty obvious answer, but I'll add it to the bingo chart. Do you think there's any way they don't have a Footloose? I don't have a Dirty Dancing reference. Because I can picture at some point when they're fighting the minions, at some point to save Jennifer Grey, Johnny Cage is going to pick her up and do the exact famous pose that it's known for with her over his head. And the camera's going to zoom wide. He's like, but he's keeping her away from the minions, so it's kind of funny that he's like protecting her, but it's like the exact pose.
I can see that indeed, yeah.
And I predict this movie's going to have like the highest music budget. It's going to have like a bunch of licensed songs in this one.
80s music and stuff.
Yeah. Specifically from Dirty Dancing. Why do that? Whatever music song is played in Dirty Dancing, I don't know Dirty Dancing. So whatever song's playing, like that plays there, and it's like if he was on the Shang Tsung's boat and he was holding someone out like the Titanic, and he played My Heart Will Go On or whatever. Like it's like that. So you have to play the music.
I just realized something. There aren't any licensed musics in these Legends movies, huh? So this would be a first in that case, yeah. Like if they do it, of course. In that case, I don't think they're gonna have that much because the budget for these are not as much as compared to like the Hollywood stuff.
It just plays
maybe
Johnny
at least
Cage's
one
theme from Battle of the Realms.
I want a full version of that. It's so good.
I know exactly what's going. That scene with that bit from Dirty Dancing. I know exactly how it's going to happen. They're in the Nether Realm. It's like there's this like river of lava they need to get across. And it's like, oh no, what do we do? And Johnny's like, you know what, Jennifer Grey, we might die. I've always had a thing for you. I'm in love with you. And then that allows him to unlock the god protection powers. And then there he is with his green glow, lifting her up as he wades through the lava to get to the other side.
As he waves through the lava. I was thinking that too. Somehow he's in the lava and doing the exact same pose.
That's that's one of my predictions. I'm most confident is going to happen.
The pose.
But we agree that there's no way they make it the whole film without a very obvious Dirty Dancing reference. And I mean like a physical one, not just mentioning the name.
I would assume. I guess I should watch this movie. You know what? For homework freaking sake, I feel like I have to watch Dirty. What do you say? Dirty Loose?
The famous song is Hungry Eyes, right?
Dirty Loose.
I just put two movies together.
Loose and Dirty.
I just put.
I mean,
Dirty Dancing. Sorry.
The funny titles are loose dancing and dirty foot.
Dirty. So I have to watch Dirty Dancing, and then I have to watch like maybe some Shane Black movies because he says an 80s Shane Black movies, and now I have to like fucking play mythologies just to understand like what's gonna be inspired in this movie. It's like so much homework. Jeez, for my sucks video. One thing I want to mention, I don't know if this will be the ending thought, but I want to just bring this up right now is, okay, guys, I don't know, you guys are not going to watch, I'm sure the creators of the Legends movies are not watching these movies, but just in case, okay, first off, love you guys, you know, you guys made some pretty fun movies. Please don't make a gigantic, amazing, like, epic, super humongous climactic ending again, please. You've done it 3 times in a row now. We don't need that. We don't need freaking Satan to pop up as the final boss for the last 10 minutes in this movie. Okay, we don't need Lucifer, which I know is canon in this movie.
Be a pretty cool reference.
Just references, but don't literally like defeat Shinnok and then Lucifer shows up and everybody has to come in and Fire God Liu Kang summons all the multiverse shenanigans. You don't need that. Please don't do that. Okay.
What do you mean everybody has to come? What the fuck?
Everybody has to come.
Against Sonic. It's not that kind of movie.
Everybody has to come.
I don't think I have to reiterate that, but it's not that kind of movie, Sonic. Stop.
Hey, you never know. But yeah, I'm excited because again, we are having another movie that has no connections with any previous plot points that we've had, unless you want to count mythologies. But other than that, it's like a completely new idea, brand new shenanigans. I'm excited to see what they do with Go Crazy in this movie. I like Snowblind. I like how they went crazy there. We're going to have another completely original plot. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you guys are going to do. Please surprise me. And yeah, that's all I'll say. I would say, Snake, you were very into this topic. I noticed you were very into talking about Cage Match with all your ideas. It's very entertaining listening to all of them.
You punched my balls. Get back here, Johnny Cage. I love that you are the real JC.
You are the real. Yes.
Because I feel like this is like Mortal 1 Kombat in the way that there's so many possibilities. Compared, you go to like Mortal Kombat 2 and it's like, oh, it's Mortal Kombat 2 with these not as interesting versions of the characters from 2021. Damn. There's not as much to say there was here. It's like there's so many possibilities. It's just fun to imagine what theoretically, but probably won't, could happen. It's just fun to be like, what if Johnny Cage just trips on his balls and accidentally kicks Shinnok in the dick and Shinnok goes, my balls, and falls off a cliff, and that's the end of the movie.
How many times have we said balls in this
climax. That's not the climax. That's not the point where. That's not just how Shinnok is beaten. That's literally the end. Shinnok falls off a cliff, and it's like cut to credits. That's the film ending.
And then Johnny Cage walks in during the credits and is like, "Wow, how'd y'all feel about that movie? It's pretty good, right? I think we went a bit over budget." And he's like, just talking as the credits are going, or something. Johnny Cage is somehow in control of the credits.
Joe McHale's all about
like
that
Deadpool.
Improvising humor.
I'm sure there will be like a bit with like really dodgy animation, and they'll say, "Oh, we ran out of budget because this next part is where all the animation budget went." And then it's like pure anime Sakuga as like Johnny goes in, like rams his fist back. It's like all these animations that he's like going in to punch Shinnok in the dick, and it's like all that. It's like that's
all the budget.
That's the money shot. That's where all the budget went. And so
the
you have to put up
money
with.
Shot.
So you have to put up with Shang Tsung literally PNG slides across the screen again.
The what do you call it? They're gonna do the Gremlins 2 again.
Be great. That'd be great if they just had like a character slide across the screen like that, and Johnny's like, "Damn, animation budgets, man." we had to cut corners somewhere.
This would be the movie that I would be fine with those like fourth wall break type kind of like jokes. Like I'd be fine with that kind of stuff in this kind of movie.
But that's the question: is if they did that, would it be just like tongue-in-cheek? He references movie-making things, or literally like Ferris Bueller or Deadpool? He just talks to the camera.
Don't know. I like I said with the synopsis, this does seem like a more serious action movie. At least the plot, but Johnny will still probably be really funny. Yeah, honestly.
Like I can totally see him like insulting the director, because isn't the director like mentioned as one of the cast? But I can see him insulting the director character, and he goes, "Oh yeah, Johnny? Oh yeah,
the director
fuck me,
character.
huh? Fuck me." and like the budget just like drops to a different art style. It's like, okay, I'm sorry. All right, and then it goes back to like the style of the movie.
I'm sure there will be a reference to the art style change.
You think so? They didn't reference that in Snowblind. They don't need to, but I mean, I don't think they.
Why would Kenji talk about?
So hard.
Why would Kenji talk about an art style?
Yeah,
surely,
honestly,
Johnny would.
Oh, fun fact, by the way. So these are all made by the same people. The same group are coming back, but Rich was the producer of the previous films. He directed Snowblind, but this movie it's going to be Ethan again. So just FYI, Rich is back as the producer on this film. So see how it goes. Honestly,
that's now the director of the first two.
Yes. Well, he also directed some episodes of Avatar, Last Airbender, and like some of the DC films. So I mean, he knows. I'll be honest. I don't think the problem of those movies are the directions. It was the writing. So I don't think he is. He's got good action choreography and stuff. So I'm fine with him directing.
Which is funny because to me, I feel like Snowblind is the one that feels most like Avatar in terms of its art style. Funnily enough,
art style, yes, indeed.
Aside from the times where it just looks like Archer, and there are points where it's like, this is just Archer.
You disrespect Archer like that. You watch your tongue.
I like how
this might be a
Snowblind
compliment.
looks.
This might be a compliment.
I like how Snowblind looks. I like it better than the first two films look. I don't like the art style one bit.
Interesting. Okay, most people actually say.
Why does everyone have black knuckles? What's that about? That's stupid.
Most people actually like the first two, like art style more, but so that's interesting.
Well, they're wrong. They're wrong.
Yeah,
Not allowed.
I like Snowblind's art style. I'm just saying
they're wrong.
Prefer...
Just like everyone who likes Spider-Man: Homecoming, you're wrong. It's a bad movie. That's my hot take.
You want to talk about bad Spider-Man movies? How about the newest one?
Is this a transition?
Shit, that new one was fucking abysmal.
We then talk about Spider-Verse for around an hour, which will be a separate episode. Also, True Underdog stopped recording midway through our conversation, so now I have to use the backup audio, which makes Sonic's audio sound bad. Fuck you, Underdog.
I'm gonna take my shirt off. Do we get in the video with the nipple reveal? Did we do like the sock thing? But it's my shirt.
No. I need to. The ending.
Save that for episode 50. We can put
let's get to episode 50, guys. We got a very special reveal, guys. Ooh. So this ending, I gotta address things for the next couple episodes for this ending. By the way, do you guys mind if I just separate the Spider-Verse discussion into one separate video, because it kind of went off the rails into an hour discussion.
Spider-Verse sucks. Just your typical title.
Oh yeah, basically. Yeah, I'm gonna make it the Spider-Verse Across the Spider-Verse sucks. YouTube have fun being canceled on Twitter. I'm gonna be safe out of that discussion. Basically, I'm very curious how the comment section will be. Like, will they be on your side, or
we just won't publish it? It'll be the lost episode. It's a Patreon exclusive, which ensures that only people who like us watch it because they're paying money. It's a Patreon exclusive.
We're getting to the end of the episode, and I'd like to mention something I mentioned early on. By the way, as important as this is, I am not putting this as the title or mention or the big deal about this episode, which is the fact that I'm graduating. I'm leaving the Combat Kings podcast. Don't move it.
You're no longer a VTuber?
That's what I was about to say. That VTubers say graduating, right? That's how they mention it.
For a second, I thought you meant you were actually graduating. I'm like, oh shit! Like, what were you
doing
your degree in?
I'm only leaving for. I've already graduated like a very long time ago. But but what I meant to say was I'm going on my Europe trip for the next 3 episodes. So I will not be here for the next 3 episodes, and I'm going to let the boys here handle the next couple of episodes, basically. So it's gonna just be the Snake and Dog Tangled episodes coming up, essentially. And I hope you guys will do a good job handling the Comic Kings podcast. I mean,
yeah, we'll finally do that video where I'm like, hey dog, here's a character in Fate thing. Can you guess who they are? Then he's like, haha, very good. Now I'll show you characters from Record of Ragnarok. Can you guess who they are? And we'll just do that for 2 hours.
Yeah. I think you guys did that twice already behind the scenes. But yeah,
occasionally I'll just show him like, here's a character in Fate, and he's like, oh, I never would have guessed who that is because how the fuck could I?
I like how you were like, this character's a robot. I'm done. And I just thought, the artist kind of does whatever he wants, and he also writes whatever he wants. You can't take it like super literal. He completely changes the origin of Hercules, and you just got to deal with it.
Yeah, I have a feeling though July is going to be filled with MK1 news or like character reveals and stuff like that.
So you got to start with those combat couches.
Have you seen the record of Ragnarok guy? Record of Ragnarok is the way he treats his characters is like Spider-Verse, and it's in the comic characters. I
just like the fights, man. It ain't that deep.
So, I will say this though: if you guys are lazy and don't want to do one episode. Yes. The True Underdog controversy episode is done and is on the channel already. So if you guys want to release that, if there's no MK news, then you guys have that. I left that I left that in the fridge for you guys. Okay, I'll be back by I'll be back soon.
When did we record that?
What? When did we record that? Wait, what? Okay, hold up a second. I think this would be a good indication.
I feel like we should probably release that at some point because wasn't that like a 2-parter and people waited on that part 2?
It was a 3-parter, by the way. We're doing the Spider-Verse thing, guys. Now we're not releasing the 3rd part for like so long.
Don't make us hypocrites, Jesus.
It was episode 18, and this will be episode 22.
What have I stumbled into? There's so much art of Miguel as a woman, and he's so thick.
Oh, do you not know the story about that?
No, we can't get it.
Yes, we are. So
basically, started this whole thing with a bagel, and now you're getting the whole bakery.
Basically, dog, this artist drew a female version.
Oh, not this artist, but another artist.
Yeah, an artist drew a female Miguel, and it had a fairly standard female build, a bit more muscular than like the average anime girl, but it was someone took issue with it because it wasn't like super top heavy like Miguel in the film, and this person was like
something like that.
Right, QRT'd it with like disgusting, lazy, lame. Yeah, this is the one. Like just basically just shitting on it.
Oh, is this the one?
And got like hundreds of thousands of likes and all this stuff, and it was like just shitting on someone for their fan art just because they didn't like it, and so people kind of rebelled against that because that's because it's mean to do that, to be like, oh, this person wanted to do a cool little gender swap of a character. Fuck you, this is disgusting. And so people just rebelled against that and just started drawing that character in their own styles, and so that's why a lot of people have done this female Miguel, and it's like. Yeah, that one.
It's the one with the two sides, basically.
Yeah, I think that's the original one.
So I just saw.
Everyone else is just like, yep, this is it.
It just happened again recently. So, what was the Indian spider's name again? Javier, or what was he called? Spider-Man. Yeah. So recently, someone drew him like in a bit more like cutesy outfit and stuff like that. Like, oh, here's like him wearing like more cutesy-ish outfits, and you get Hobie. Yeah, you see a little bit of Hobie, like a little face on the bottom right, and so it like implies maybe they're shipping these two characters together and stuff like that. And then another tweet was like, "How dare you? He has a girlfriend in the movie and stuff like that." And essentially the exact same situation happened again here, where it's like how like, and it's like so someone basically brought up these two artworks and be like, people can't just draw fan art, without getting like so pissed off about like canons and whatnot. And
not on Twitter.
I think I've told this story, but there's someone I was on. It used to be on Brusque's Discord server when I found some nice fan art of Cassie and Eren, and I posted it, and it's like they saw it as shipping fodder. I think it was a shipping thing, but I didn't really see it that way. And I posted that, and the person got really upset because Cassie Cage is coded gay, and therefore shipping her with a man is like some morally objectionable thing, and it's like. Oh, I see. So because she has this hairstyle, she has to be a gay. Like, playing into stereotypes about lesbians, are you? Person who is apparently also a lesbian.
Snake, you're going to get us canceled. You're going to make them hate me.
No, you guys already canceled because of the Spider-Verse part of this video, which was... But yeah, so shoot, let me see if I have anything else I want to say, because this is gonna be the last time I'm gonna be able to chat with you guys till August. Oh,
I can't believe SonicHaXD went to Europe and like just turned into the green screen of Sub-Zero falling to his death. I can't believe.
Is that gonna just be me on the screen for the next like month? Just me falling for 4 hours?
That would be funny.
No, I'm definitely going to use that image of you going, I did it, in that one video that you made. I'm going to use that one.
What?
Where you're right in the camera. It's one of the first times you ever showed your face.
I did it?
I did it. You're right in front of the screen.
Oh, I know the exact video you're talking about, by the way. It's my Mortal Kombat vs. DC video. I don't know that one.
I did it. I think it wouldn't even be that funny, but I think it'd be funny, even though it wouldn't be, if Sonic's place in the video is just one of his Sucks videos just playing on mute.
Oh, just
the whole way through. It's like Scorpion's Revenge Sucks is down there, and it's like, yep, that's the video.
That's the whole entire video. There you go. Each of my videos are like an hour. You can play like 4 episodes, basically, just right there.
Or alternatively, Sonic can make up an image of a poker skit where he's there, and that's where it is. He's in the poker game.
Default poker skit. Oh, actually, you did bring up a good thing I can mention at the end of this podcast. By the time this is out, the Mortal Kombat 9 Sucks video will also be out. So I hope you guys will be enjoying that. And during the entirety of July, despite my absence, like I'm already on vacation, my channel will have 4 videos going up already scheduled throughout the entire month and all the way till August. So it will be like I'm still here, basically. I'll be very active, even though I won't be here.
Yeah, it's just this channel is going to be abandoning.
Oh yeah, but that's up to you guys how good the channel is going to be handling it. I'm very excited to see how. Well, if the time permits it, maybe you can call me on Discord, because I'll bring my phone. And someone can record the screen if you guys want to do that, because like I'll still bring my phone basically.
Nah, just you had your chance.
Chance? No. There's a period around like the later part of July where I'm gonna be on a cruise ship. So I mean, I'll be on a cruise ship for the whole time. Maybe I can record it around then.
Very well.
Sonic's just in the middle of the episode.
Or something like that. Oh, what? We can't hear you. What?
All right, we got to say before I send us out on an amazing outro idea.
Okay. Last thing I gotta say. I'm very excited to see how the Combat Kings podcast would do with the 2 of you guys. I hope you guys would carry it. I will show up for the Reptile review trailer, so don't worry about that. But yeah, send us off, dog. I'm actually about to faint too.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. Okay, everybody. So I guess the importance of today's video is to know that if you ever do anything embarrassing or say something that might get you canceled on social media, just remember it's not your fault. It was just a canon event.
I'm going to play the ukulele. Toxic Gossip. What was it?
No, you should play the Miguel
Toxic Gossip. No. But did you see that really horrible like apology video recently, where like the girl plays the ukulele?
Yeah, I did see that. What's wrong with that video?
Toxic Gossip Train. Gotta do because if you get canceled, it's like Toxic Gossip Train. Oh, that's so amazing! I can't believe like how bad that is. Combat Kings ended the episode.
I now have context for that one image I saw on Twitter where it's Pyrocynical's my version of the story with the ukulele on it.
With the ukulele out, like in an alternate universe.
I have been educated. I have reached enlightenment. Oh.
The screen is too bright right now. That'll be the end of the episode right there.